Just FYI, I'm looking forward to dying with honor.
I'll just repeat. Elves, woodsmen, and humanoids share the Black Forest, but for hundreds of years, the Whistle Run and Brackenbrook have marked the limit of their paths. For beyond this is the Death Tangle, where not even rangers and druids go. The Dragonmere, a weed-choked lake where the two streams meet, is a centre of a local tradition. The villagers of the area dance in procession to the lake at different times of the year, dressed in bright costumes, wearing masks, and they cast loose on the lake a cow, a silver collar, a box of spices, and a bag of gold to placate the wrath of their local god. But you are adventurers, and through divination magics and other forms, you have learned that this is actually an adult green dragon, a female called Guadira, and she's a rich one. By your calculation, she's been milking the area for a few centuries, and it's now time to earn yourself a dragon hoard. So the word has gone out, and you meet in the village of Sunnydale, in a tavern called the Hunter's Arms. The first to arrive, if you'd like to describe yourself, the first to arrive will be Strong Soul. Can you describe what Strong Soul looks like as he walks in?
Strong Soul is a fairly tall, big brute, about 7'10". He has red flowing locks and a red flowing beard. He's looks to be about 320 pounds. As far as that, you'll see a massive scar across his right cheek, and if he happens to pull his tunic sleeves up, you'll see on both his forearms some massive scars upon his forearms. On the one arm, you'll see a buckler strapped to it. You'll notice that he has two short swords. As far as that, a long bow across his back. He's not wearing any armor per se. It's just nice traveling clothes. He has, you can see the string of a necklace when he turns his head from time to time along his neck that seems to be tucked below his tunic. And let's see here. What else would you see? They're tall, soft, buckskin brown boots. You'll see two dagger hilts sticking out from there. And on his belt, you'll notice two daggers. And then strapped across his back would be a war hammer.
The bearded,
yes.
The bearded landlord of the Hunter's Arms welcomes you and offers you a table with looking a little bit intimidated by your size and by your obviously martial air. We don't get many. Black Forest is it's an out of this part of the Black Forest is an out of the way spot, and they don't get many strangers around here. The wood cutting community. And he looks you up and down and says, welcome to Sunnydale. We don't get many strangers passing through here. What brings you to this remote place?
And Strong Soul is saying, I hear that you have a beast here that I might be interested in. It's supposed to be a large beast, but I have possibly some words to have with it for what it's done to my tribe.
You're obviously a skilled hunter, but I think you've been misled. There are no good beasts around here. But yeah, well, good luck in your hunt. There are deer and there are some wolves in the forest, but I think you'll be unlucky with whatever rumors have drawn you here. But have some food. And at that moment, another person arrives. Michael, can you describe who comes in?
The door will briskly open, and as it does so, leaves and wind rustles in behind at his feet as he steps in. He's a somewhat tall man, although bent over with age, so he's actually stands not too high, leaning on an old oaken staff with a big white fluffy beard and white flowing hair. He walks with a bit of a stutter, almost like he's difficult to move his old bones. And he comes in, prodding, using his staff as a walking stick to carry him through, and then sits down at the bar next to the large Goliath who came in. And he's like, "Well, Sonny." No. Yes, guys.
Welcome, grandfather, says the barmaid, or the woman there. She's not no younger in the first flush of youth. She's obviously a mature mother, but she pulls up a chair for you and place to sit. She says, "You've traveled far. You've traveled far. It's rare that we get two strangers in Little Sunnydale. Welcome. I hope I'll make sure that I've got enough stew." And she goes into the back room.
Well, at this moment, as far at my age, just getting out of bed sometimes a little difficult.
Well, welcome to Sunnydale, and I hope. What has brought you? Do you have family here?
No. I actually don't live too far away per se, but I have eschewed civilization for many years and prefer the solace of birds and such. But the forest spirits have come to me and talked to me and told me about a great poisonous beast that's just ruining and befelling the land near here. And I've been summoned to help eradicate it and make the land whole again. You wouldn't happen to know any rumors of that, would you now, darling?
Pursed look on her face, her lips close, and the color drains a little from her face, and she says, I'll tell you what I know, but first I'll check on my stew. And she goes into she goes through the door into the kitchen. The other people in the tavern, some woodsmen and loggers by the look of them, tough outdoor folk, have fallen silent, and they look like their impression of a scowl from them towards you. But as you glance in their direction, they quickly look away and resume their conversation. You hear the clatter of dice on the table.
Young man's game. Now you look like a hefty little sort there. As he looks up at the Goliath, like, you wouldn't happen to be new to this area either now, would you?
Word went out. Somebody put word out about the dragon in the area, and you have heard that other people are coming in this direction.
Awesome. Just curious, but do you think you could help a poor old man make it to this lake to take out the fell beast, their large one?
And Strong Soul will say, Elder, your experience and knowledge should be protected for your tribe. You are their archive.
No more tribe for me. I generally live solo. It's odd for me to actually talk to another person.
Well, I am privileged and honored that you chose to speak to me. And this beast that you talk of, what is it? I'm on the look for a beast to have a talk to. So maybe our twains run down the same stream.
Perchance, perchance, the forest spirits came to me and told me about something that has evil that has befallen the land and warped it and twisted towards evil. So,
If I can help you, Elder,
And as you talk
I'll
about
do my best.
this evil, there's the wind picks up a little, and you hear the leaves blown against um, the window shutters and whistling around the door, and the shutters rattle a bit. And then as it dies off, you hear another person from outside approaching the tavern or approaching the inn, and the doors open. Peter, if you'd like to describe what they see.
So, hearing heavy footsteps, clinging metal, coming inside the tavern is a dwarf covered in plate mail. You know, looks ancient and very finely crafted. He looks old for a dwarf. Like people probably haven't seen a gray bearded dwarf before. He looks really old. And he comes in and quickly glances through the inn and says, "Top of the morning to you. Is there a place I can sit at? Possibly." And probably looks at the only free table.
well,
Free.
venerable one, come have a seat next to me. You may be the only person around here who may have seen as many suns come and go as I have. Maybe more. Your kind lives quite a considerable age.
Well, thank you. And he sits down, almost like the chair under him like creaks because of the weight. He looks around he looks at the Goliath, he looks at the druid, and it's like, so I'm not too intelligent, but I presume you're here after the same thing, aren't you?
Well, from what little I know of dwarves, I know they crave gold like dragons. So that would probably assume you're here for the gold of the dragon in the midst of the lake.
Oh, don't mistake me for a normal dwarf. I am simply here to get rid of this foul beast and rid this land of its evil presence.
One of the locals stands up and comes over to you. "Excuse me, strangers. I couldn't but help overhear your conversation. You're not the first people to have come here looking for a dragon, and maybe you won't be the last."
Though, young lady, we probably will be, unless they're coming to look for dragon carcass or some such.
Dragons round here. You've been misled. Where there are no dangerous beasts around here. The forests have deer. They've got good hunting. They are bountiful, but they're what you have come for. The stories. I don't know what's drawn you here, but I think you are misled. We have good venison stew. Spend the night here, but ride on in the morning. We don't want. He bites his lips and says, "Stay in Sunnydale, and I'm sure we all welcome you." And there's a very cold around the tavern, and then he says, "But don't bring any trouble down on the rest of us."
No,
he
no,
says quietly, and goes and sits down.
no, sir. I wouldn't dream of it. As a matter of fact, I think you're probably right. I'll just stay here tonight and then move along. Too old in my aching bones to do anything, anyways. And he'll look over at the dwarf and the large one and kind of wink at them.
Yeah, of course. Well, I'm mostly here for just the ale. You know, I've heard tales, and I want to hunt dragons. So if I find anything, I'm gonna go after it. You know me. I wouldn't cause any trouble.
And as you
Trouble? I
mentioned
wouldn't
dragons again,
cause trouble. Not to
as you
a
mentioned
tribal
dragons
subject.
again, this on the floor, as it hits the spit bucket. And now, sort of evening's coming in, and you just hear the first. Again, the wind is sort of rattling around the shutters, and the leaves are blowing down the street, and you hear the night has fallen by now, and you hear the another set of footsteps approaching. Over to you, Dan.
All right. In comes square jawed warrior wearing a gambeson, like the under shirt, under armor. Behind him, you see his encumbered warhorse with his ornate plate and travel gear, kind of loaded up and getting led away by one of the stable boys. And once again, I'm guessing it'd be the same kind of thing. Everybody kind of stops talking. It's really silent because this person nobody recognizes comes in again. He just looks around, and he sees the strange-looking companions sitting together, kind of commiserating, standing out horribly like sore thumbs. He would assume that they were here for the same thing that he seeks. He has Castle Forge steel on his belt at his side, but overall he's dressed for comfort at the moment. So he walks over and kind of pulls over a chair and sits. Well, I only assume you're here for the same reason I am.
Yeah. The good beer and feasting.
Yeah, no dragon hunting at all. And he winks. And don't worry, take a seat. These chairs can hold the weight of a plate armor. And he pulls the chair for you.
I'm just here to rest my weary bones for the night before passing out through town.
Yeah, he sits down and he orders a humble meal and just kind of gets settled in for the night with you guys.
Okay, so you get the general impression the locals are hostile or unfriendly towards any outward mention of going dragon hunting or anything like that. But then towards the end of the evening, not really different from the rest of them. She looks like she makes her living out of the forest. She's got a woodman's axe at her side and wears cured deer skin armor and has a bow and a hunting dagger. And she sits down at your table without asking for an invitation and nods warily at you all. I'm Robin Weatherbourne, and the people here are cowards, and I wouldn't trust them.
Under my breath, very quietly, so no one else won't hear, and be like, "Good evening, lady. But just because people fear for their safety from retaliation of a great and powerful dragon doesn't necessarily make them a coward. If anything, I would call it makes them wise."
She spits on the floor. They're all cowards.
Lass, you haven't seen the devastation that a grand worm can do. I've seen my loved ones and my tribe put asunder by such, and my tribe was strong and of courage. They're nothing to be trifled. these folks here, for what they are wise to be cautious of such a thing.
Maybe what you say is true. I have not seen the devastation of a worm, because these people placate the worm, and I do not think they'd think twice about selling you out to it either.
And Strong Soul turned his cheek with the big scar across it, and he says, I'm one of the lucky ones, maybe the only lucky one from my tribe. You see what just a grazing strike did here, this horrible large scar. And that's just a graze. And I'm an experienced and grand hunter of my tribe.
If you're a hunter, then maybe you do have a competent look around about you all. But I have tried to enter the death tangle, and I have only got cutting all the way. Forest, the whole forest works against you, and it rips you to shreds as you try to push through it. I've only made it through 100, 200 yards before I had to give up. It was tearing me to pieces. Progress was slow, and the place is full of natural poisons. There's no way. I have some skills in the wilds. I have some skills with nature. I can resist poisons, and I can neutralize them. But that whole place is so full of poison that it's impossible to pass through without feeling the effects of the poison perfumes in the air, the scratches on your skin. Little and insignificant, but they accumulate, and it will take down. You won't get far into the forest without it clouding your brains and slowing your muscles, unless you have some complete immunity to the effects of poison, which is something I don't have.
Well, do you know one thing, Missy? I understand you haven't been there in a while, but do you happen to know how big this lake is?
The lake is a few hundred feet in each direction. It's usually covered with mists, so it's difficult to see the whole way across. Mists and scented mists, evil scented mists come down off the highlands. It's a very beyond the death tangle, as we call it, is on the side of a very heavily overgrown, almost a cliff face, with heavily overgrown thornlands and hawthorn, brambles, unpassable. An unpassable sort of barrier. If you imagine the thickest hedge, the whole thing is like that, and poisonous as well. It's not welcoming, and it's difficult to enter. I have tried to hunt the dragon once, but I was defeated before I even saw the beast.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd be willing to come with you.
Well, we greatly appreciate that, Miss. We could possibly use someone of your skills if you're as noble a huntress as you claim to be.
They killed my brother, and for that, I want revenge.
They say whoever seeks out
They
for
sacrificed
revenge.
my brother to the dragon.
I'm quite sorry for that, but if you seek out for revenge, then you best dig 2 graves first. Who do you seek vengeance upon, the dragon or those who sacrificed him out of fear for the dragon?
I have already got my revenge on the one who chose my brother, and now it's the one who.
So sad, so sad. I did not come to bring death, but to liberate the woods from this creature.
Well, sometimes you need death to restore life and to protect it.
Oh, nothing else. You wouldn't happen to know any other things that dwell in that lake, do you?
There's nothing. There's no large. I have seen in beyond the lake. I have seen spiders, but in the lake itself, nothing. There are plenty of fish and lizards that watch you with their big eyes as you pass, but there is no. Your enemy is the forest itself, the trees. You need to find a way through those. The thorns, the poison.
Yes.
But there's hostility from. You think they might have spat in your meal. You're getting your meals when they're served are served a little bit cold. You get the gristly bits of meat. There's nothing outright hostile, but it's definitely an unfriendly impression you get.
Strong soul with getting that kind of service and everything. Well, when turning his head up to the tavern keeper, he'll say to him, "Sir, you must know my mother. This is just like Mom used to make. Thank you so much."
He doesn't know whether you make of that. He's just sort of chewing over various responses, but doesn't actually in the end come up with any. And anybody else like to do anything this evening? What's your plans?
Well, Artos would ask.
Do you know how far it is?
Good.
Do you know how far the lake is, ma'am?
The lake, Dragonmere, would be, if you follow the Braddock stream, it would be sort of a journey of about 2-3 hours through the forest to 2 hours through the forest to Dragonmere, where the two streams join.
May I ask, how do you resist the poisons?
Are you asking your companions or
the ranger?
There is.
Oh, whichever one.
I'm asking this wild lady how she resists the poisons, whether it's a spell or like an item or.
I don't resist them, but I do have a spell which will rid a poison from my system, and so if I need especially sharp senses, my plan. I've tried to avoid poisons pushing through the undergrowth there. It was impossible. I cast my spell on the first one, I cast my spell on the second one, but I ran out of spells in no time. I think the only thing to do is save your if you have such an ability, save your magic for when you need it, to clear your head and prepare for the battle ahead. but most of the time you'll be traveling under the effects of poisons. They're almost impossible to avoid unless you have some trick that I have not got.
All right, good to know.
I think we could get through the woods and the briars and the thickets quite easily. Have you ever seen a crow worry about the briars and thickets on the ground?
I believe I have.
Then why
Been
should
getting that,
we?
old man.
Strong Soul asks, is this river or stream that you talked about, is that all in the woods?
There's the Braddop stream leading up to Dragonmere, and Dragonmere is fed by 3 streams: the Whistle Run, the Bracken Brook, and a third one that maybe it had one. Maybe it has had a name once, but it's been lost because it's deep within dragon territory, and only those who've tried to venture into the Death Tangle have ever seen it. I have seen it, she says proudly, but I haven't named it. Maybe I'll name it after me. It's Robin's Brook, she says.
And
are the streams passable, navigable, maybe say by a canoe or some such, without the brackets and
Robin looks distracted. Sorry, I missed that, old man. What did you say?
are the streams heading to that lake? Are they navigable by, say, a canoe or some such, without passing through the thickets and briar patches?
No. The stream, the unnamed stream, is it's almost a river at times. Actually, sometimes it's large, sometimes it's small, but it's too steep to be. It's a salmon brook leading sharply up the. There are waterfalls and drops. You'd be carrying any canoe more than you'd be in it. And to be honest, I think the thorns would grab you as much as they do on the banks.
Well, then, it's just an idea.
The will of the dragon. She looks a little bit hesitant to have said dragon. She glances around the tavern, but the will of the beast opposes people entering here.
I agree. But what say ye all? And I'll lean in real close and whisper, darting my eyes back and forth to make sure no one is paying attention or whatever. What if I summon forth several of my forest creatures who could bear us in flight to the middle of the lake itself?
Now that is interesting.
Just fly over the entire Death Tangle.
Can you do that?
can they lift one?
Well, I can't, but
big as
forest creatures have been known to answer my call from time to time. Now, I can't fly well. I picked up these boots with wings, but other than that, no, I'm not a bird. But the forest creatures can, and they answer my call. I could ask. I was befriended at one point in time by these cave-dwelling large bats. They got so large in these caves, eating mosquitoes and such. They're as large as a horse, easily capable of carrying us. There are many of them. And if I were to whistle just right, they would fly to my aid. for I have helped them out through my many, many long years on this life. AKA conjure animals.
Sounds
Well, if
better
they-
than being slowly poisoned to death.
Indeed.
Let's get right to it. You'll know we're coming either way. Might as well get there quickly.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing. I don't think there's much way to sneak up on a dragon in its lair without it knowing about it. That's part of the reason why the forest spirits called me, is that the power of this beast is taking over the lands, the birds and the fish and the insects, everything in that area is taking on the nature of the beast. He can see through their eyes. He'll know we're coming, but the point is we won't have to hack our way through the wretched undergrowth that has taken on the personality of the beast by simply flying over it.
Set her the fire. Burn those thorns and that brush that's so evil.
Well, we can do that on our way out. I'm assuming the cleansing fire is part of nature. It takes away all the old and lets the new grow, as I'm assuming this dragon will be the death of me, allowing a new man to dwell in the forest and commune with it as I have. As he strokes his beard and leans back in his chair with that thought of mortality finally coming.
So is that your plan then? Have you settled on the...
We've settled on a plan to get there, I think. Does anybody have any doubts to this?
What's the backup plan? Never goes the way you actually intend it, so what's the backup plan when we inevitably get pulled down into the forest or crash or get ambushed?
Well, in that case, we cut our ways through the brambles.
Well, maybe we can buy a couple head of cattle and we'll have them take the poisons while we're in between them, walking through the brambles.
Like a plow or something.
I can also help overcome poisons a bit. But it would take almost all my magic just to get through the brambles. But I do intend, when we get there, to assist you all to be able to fortify yourself against poison. And also, I'm assuming we'll have to swim under this godforsaken lake to find this dragon. And so I can also use found out by running around in this circle and planting some gillyweed, which I have right here. It'll allow everybody to breathe underwater for about an hour, which is why I'm playing a druid instead of a cleric, because fucking water breathing is not on a cleric spell list.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Don't waste your spell on me, Strong Soul said. I'm
You
born
can
with
hold
good
your breath
lungs.
underwater?
Oh, I can go days.
In that case, okay, I trust you. I won't affect you with this gillyweed I have in my pocket.
You never know where that weed's been.
Well, actually, I do. I harvested it myself. I got it from the brook.
So having settled on your plans, you take rooms for the night, and in the morning, can you describe how you set off from the village?
Actually, I'd like some more planning. How we get there, yes, but how do we take on this dragon? How does anybody have any? We can get there. We can breathe underwater and swim like fish through this lake. Just curious, but does anybody have any, like, I mean, how do you plan on combating the dragon there, dear dwarf in full plate? I'm assuming you're going to not, like, swim, but, like, sink and walk on the bottom of the water. Is that your plan?
Well, kinda. But from my experience, I think we should tie the dragon down, like make it impossible for him to fly. Draw him on the shore.
It's a noble idea, to be sure.
You are not the only one who is assisted by nature, Mr. Druid. I can ensnare him with vines and brambles as well.
That would be nice, but and you may succeed at least for a while. But dragons are notoriously huge, large, powerful creatures. Difficult.
We can bait him out from the waters, maybe by
He'll know where they
sneaking on down and taking his tribute and putting it up on shore.
Was this the time of year for the
Instead of
tribute to be
trap.
made? No, there's no setting a trap. The dragon will know. It's
We
his.
can still set a trap.
Anywhere in the briar patch, though, is like a flea on a dog. He can feel you walking on it.
Dragons are easy to anger. If we anger him enough, he'll forget about the trap, alright?
This is true. They're also arrogant enough to not care about any trap we set, perchance.
Indeed. That's how I killed many dragons. All of them underestimated me at first.
That's
Like this one.
Tribute.
Many dragon slayer. How many dragons have you slain in your illustrious career?
What's a number one higher than 57? I think that much.
Oh shit!
Maybe not all of them weren't adults by any means, but a lot of them were worms, and then
What did you club
young.
a bunch of wormlings in their nest?
like
That's
20
not
of them.
playing a dragon dwarf.
I slayed a bunch of
Real
adult dragons my whole life. I slayed my first dragon before all of you were born. That I can tell.
I don't doubt that.
Even me there, sonny boy? I kind of doubt that. I'm born many time ago.
It
Well, me too.
sounds like you slayed a bunch by having dragon omelets.
Well, they are delicious, let me tell you. If we find any eggs, I call dips.
Very well, nay. Find some eggs. I don't know, may find some eggs, some wormlings. I can just imagine what fell creatures dwell in that lake that answer to the dragon's call as to. Quite worried about what effects it can have on the environs. Okay, so what you propose is we call upon I don't know what you call a group of bats, but yeah, that. A pack of bats, a gaggle of bats, a flock of bats.
Swarm, maybe?
Swarm,
Swarm. There's a swarm.
Swarm of ginormous, large bats the size of a horse, each one. And fly into the lake and land on the lake and then set some trap on the shores, hoping that it be time for the dragon's sacrifice and take it from the villagers, perhaps causing them bodily harm in doing such, as they would definitely fight opposed it, considering it is the time for the sacrifice.
Well,
And then lie in ambush and wait for the dragon to retaliate.
let them throw the tribute into the water or put it on shore, wherever they do. Let them go, and then we take it. Then in honesty, they can say they abided by their contract.
Fair enough, fair enough. We do not wish to bring the dragon's wrath down upon any good citizens, but upon ourselves. All right, and then what? Say we engage that dragon in combat. He is outraged at our audacity.
We kill them.
Then what? Fair enough. We kill him. They just walk up, and I take my walking stick and beat him over the nose with it.
That'll work.
Aye.
You grab his attention. We'll
Aye.
hold down his wings, and then the odd man out will start gutting them.
This is a fabulous plan. I can't see anything wrong with it.
Me neither. This is indeed how you kill a dragon.
And
You know,
my question:
besides just tying
is-
it down with vines, which is a good idea,
how do the residents get the tribute down to the dragon without dying from all the poison briars? They must have a safe route.
perhaps Robin would be the one to ask.
Okay, Robin will be around, and she says, the death tangle is beyond the lake. They take it up to the lake, the Dragonmere, on the village side of the lake. There's a little altar, and next to the altar there's a barge that they put the cow, the silver, the gold, and the herbs on, the spices on, and set it adrift onto the lake. But it disappears into the mist, and sometimes they hear an alarmed cow. The cow is alarmed to go out into the lake anyway. But that's just an offering. It's you've come. It's not the time for the ceremony of Sunnydale, but the one of the nearby villages, Maristead, is having their ceremony in a couple of days. And if you want to use their ceremony as part of your plan, you could do.
So what you're saying is we wouldn't even have to go through the Dragonbriar. We could just get on the lake here and sail on the lake to the dragon's domain.
Maybe if the
No.
villagers will let us.
Robin explains the lake is perhaps the border of the dragon's domain, the dragon's territory. But it's another mile through the thick undergrowth.
Oh, so
are
the dragon doesn't live in the lake.
there are two. No, the dragon comes out in the lake sometimes and receives its offerings in the lake, but retreats back into the death tangle with the offerings.
Oh.
Strong Soul will ask Robin, what color is this dragon? Any distinctive scars or marks so we know we got the right one?
It is dark green. It is dark green, and it's enormous, the size of the barn, she says.
Gods forbid we get the wrong dragon.
Oh, yeah.
And
You always want to get the right target.
No, that one's red.
Oh, damn it, we went the wrong way.
Leave that one alone.
I'm sure there's only... I hope to the gods that there's only one dragon. Hopefully that won't be an issue.
I have seen wormlings as well. When turned into young, but when they are young, they are driven off by old Guadira.
Guadira. Where do you get this name from? Does it call itself that, or is that what you all call it? You all. What the fuck's wrong with me? Is that what you all call it?
You're from the South,
Apparently. Why did I say you all?
y'all.
There you go.
Y'all.
Y'all.
Hey y'all.
Actually, in Kentucky, it's more apparent for people to say yuns. You ones.
Yuns.
Yuns. Yuns. Don't ask me.
She looks a little bit. She looks. When you ask the question about why you know It's called
name?
Guadaira. She looks like you get the impression you've caught her out, and she's looking. She's trying to find an answer.
Okay.
I don't know why we call her Guadaira. I don't know where I know that name from.
At this point,
You probably
seeing
picked it up
this,
somewhere, and it just
Strong Soul
out your brain. It's not a big deal.
going to attempt his insight to see if she's telling the truth.
Artos would be thinking of any myths that he may have heard about dragons in general, and about this dragon in particular, from the seers that dispatched him.
Strong Soul had a 13 for an insight check.
She could well. She's looked very natural up till now, but it looks like that really has slightly, and you suspect that everything. You don't trust her as you did at first. Basically, she might have something else up her sleeve. All you've heard, what you've heard about this dragon is that the local villages placate it. The local villages are subdued and in awe of it. They do not. Basically, they live with it, and it's their lord, as it were, and they offer sacrifices to it. This dragon is an adult dragon, an adult green, and there are rumors that it knows some magic. It's people have seen it. People who have seen it say that it's unnaturally fast.
Okay.
Smooth spiders.
Okay. Yeah.
Strong Soul feeling this way, but distrustful of her. And let me see. I think I put that down as one of the things here. Okay. Yeah. He's going to be pretty blunt and say, "Who sent you, woman? How we know you true? Anyone can say what you said. Where's your proof?"
Once again, I should have played a cleric instead. It's all the truth.
Ask any of the people here. They will tell you who I am. But if you don't trust me, then there's nothing to be had here. I wish you well in your hunt, she says, and stands up.
I trust you to
tries.
I trust you to stab us in the back, set us up. I trust you in that. What say you?
Well, that's something.
I don't need to stab you in the back. I don't need to do anything like that. Why would that serve me?
No, laddies. Green dragons are especially cheeky. Dragons are able to take human form. We might just be dealing with one, or at least a disciple of hers. I say we won't let her go. Don't let our eyes off her.
Am I your prisoner then? She says, with a look of slightly sneering.
Well?
Well, let's put it like this, dear. More of a guest. If you are not, if you are a minion of the dragon, then you may consider yourself a prisoner. But if you are not, then by all means, just stay with us and prove that you're not, instead of running off to tell your mistress.
I
Or
will-
perhaps you are her. I don't know.
I will stay with you and prove.
Let's say you can call yourself whatever, but we'll call you a mandated guest.
Well, it makes no difference. If I get a chance to, if you are going to go up against the dragon, and I am going with you as your prisoner or your guest, that is what I want to do as well.
Guestage.
So I,
/guest/hostage. Guestage.
but my brother was a sacrifice. I do not wish to be one myself. Give me the oath that you will not sacrifice me, and I give you my oath that I will stick with you and stand by you in fights.
You see, that could be something that the dragon is holding over your head, like this village itself is. She's got your brother, and you, in order to keep him safe and secure, you lure adventurers after dragon blood into a trap.
Make an insight roll.
Oh, okay.
Strong soul, we'll say. I can't give such an oath, because if it came down for my survival, I'd give you up in a heartbeat as a sacrifice.
17 on the die?
Okay, as you say this bit about maybe her brother being a hostage and her luring adventurers into traps and things like that, it just looks like you've spoken the truth. She doesn't confess, but she just looks like his spirit is broken a bit.
Total of 21, just FYI. Not proficient, but, I'm wise. Well, listen here, darling. Fret not. I can assure you that we will do our best to save your brother or anybody else that the dragon is holding hostage. After we're done with him, this dragon will not harm another soul ever. We will free this land from its tyranny. I know you've heard this before. I know you've heard this before, youngling. But look into my eyes. No.
She looks into your eyes.
Know that this can be done. Have faith.
Make a persuasion roll.
That I'm not proficient in. And I'm much less charismatic than I am.
Advantage for grandfatherly wisdom. Being like top.
I like the way you're doing it. You can have advantage.
Offer a chocolate bar.
That's either an 11 or an 11.
Okay.
Total.
Yeah. You tell her this, and she.
Dwarf, the wisdom of the real ancient one. Here, you tell her. I'm assuming you're a paladin. You are more charismatic than me. I don't know.
Well, I can tell you this one thing. Your brother's probably dead.
Never mind.
Sweet!
Smooth.
I love it.
But if he is alive, I swear I will save him, as I would everyone and anyone who would be under the dragon's spell or curse. And if you help us properly, show us the proper way, and don't lead us into a trap, I'll get rid of this dragon and free your brother, if he's still alive.
Or, like we're planning on allowing anybody letting forth the sacrifice and letting them go through the motion and then taking it so that they would not feel the dragon's wrath, you could go ahead and lead us, dear lady, into the trap that the dragon has preordained, thus fulfilling your part of the bargain, except you simply let us know where it is.
Paladin, make a persuasion roll. And I'll do it. I'll do a contested persuasion roll. You versus the dragon's intimidation.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, it was a nice attempt. You could always roll a 1.
So I am sitting pretty on 23.
Um,
Not bad.
possible then. 25. Okay. No, I'm going to give you this one. 23 is a good roll as well, and it makes sense. So she just she says the trap is no more than leading you into the forest. And then abandoning you. The forest weakens. He wears everybody down with the forest, and then once you're weak, then he picks you off.
Is
Then
there a
she picks
better
you
way?
up. Sorry.
Is there a better way that we could take?
This old man, he talks of flying bats. I do not know. I'll be honest. I do not know where her lair is. I have not seen her lair. I have only seen the death angle. I have entered. I believe. I believe if you follow the unnamed river in the center of the death tangle, the unnamed stream, it will lead to her lair. I have heard a low roar of the rapids, and there are odd steams and odd mists that come out of the mountain in that place. It's very steep, wood covered, but the canopy, you cannot see anything through it. And I have not been able. I have spoken to the animals that live there, but they are all too terrified of the dragon to give you any useful information.
Yes, the forest
My only
creatures
suggestion
well
is
there.
my only thing I can tell you is a hunch. Follow the unnamed stream, the unnamed river. But if you can
Does
follow
it
it in
flow?
flight,
Does
but
it
I don't
flow?
know. To be honest, sorry, what is your question?
I was gonna ask, does it flow into the forest or out?
It flows out. It flows into the Dragonmere, into the lake from above. The highlands, sort of around the Dragonmere. There are three valleys. Two are the Brackenbrook and the Whistle Run, which mark the boundaries of the Death Tangle. And then in the center of the Death Tangle is the unnamed brook, the unnamed river, which she thinks comes from. She can only see the canopy. You can't see past the canopy of trees. It's all so thick and overgrown that she doesn't know what lies behind the canopy. She's tried cutting in, but she hasn't got very deep in.
All right.
But if you fly over, she's never flown. Maybe from flight, maybe from above, you'll be able to see something.
That's my hunch. Take the bats. Look for the river, follow it as far as we can. Be able to lead us to its lair.
Which one? I mean, can we get like directions about like if we're looking over the lake, which river is which? Like, would it be on the north corner, the west corner, the east corner?
The west is Brackenbrook, the northeast is Whistle Run, and the northwest is the unnamed one, which leads up to Robinsbrook, which could, she doesn't know, but she suspects would lead up to wherever the dragon lairs. She does add one thing. She's occasionally heard music. She's occasionally heard music, and she's occasionally heard a distant tapping, like someone is chiseling.
Generally rapping on her chamber door.
Mm-hmm. But stone, metal on stone.
Interesting. Someone is perhaps mining up there. Perhaps the dragon is scratching his claws on the rocks, sharpening them or such. Okay, so we go to the lake, summon my friends. We can climb on their backs and they will fly us across the lake post haste up into the northeast corner where we find Robin's Brook and follow it up.
Is there a general store or trading post in this village?
Yes, there will be.
Okay. Strong Soul will say that he needs to stop in and get some candles if they have them.
Not sure why you need candlelight.
Need a light to read by, maybe, or maybe we might be able to seduce her.
Now that's a plan. I don't think it's gonna work, but I'd like to see you try.
Me too.
Would there be a fisherman or maybe Horik would just tag along to the general store.
Okay.
Maybe just take a boat.
I don't want a boat.
I don't think the boat's gonna work.
Well, that would take us through the lake up into the northeast part where we could then summon. My friends won't hang around for forever. I would just get us there.
I'd rather have my feet on dry land
Okay.
than
That.
put my faith in a rowboat in the middle of a swamp that wants to kill me.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Let's proceed to the store to get some candles for our tall friend.
Okay, so yeah, you were able to do that the next day anyway when the store opens.
He just wants 5 candles.
You can. They don't have a lot, but they have candles. It's one of the things.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No,
yeah,
that's all.
Horik would actually ask the shopkeep. So I'm supposed to go whale hunting with my cousin, and he asked me to bring a net, a huge net with lead. Do you think you might have that, or know someone who might have this particular thing?
Looks at you with surprise. Whale hunting in the Black Forest.
Well, I mean, it's a way, but I was just I'm supposed to bring a net, so.
My friend here figured he could get a better deal on it inland on his trek to his brother's adventure on the sea.
There's less demand out here.
Of course, and I also wanted to give business to local workers and craftsmen rather than imported. Rather than buy imported shit. That's
You know how those gnomes are, and the dwarves are. They're thrifty, real thrifty. Break the cheap.
Yeah, I am super greedy. I can't lie.
Roll of netting, he says, showing you, but it's really sort of rabbit netting or something like that. It's not going to stop anything strong.
You think I could hunt whales with that? Are you mad? Is there anyone you could direct me to? Maybe.
Really weak.
The sea.
The sea. Well, that would be all
What's
then.
the biggest type of fish you have in the lake over there? You don't have any crocodiles or some such, would you?
There are no. We have pike. I've seen. That gets him talking. Now, once you wouldn't believe the size of this pike that I saw once. It was probably about 7 foot long.
Wow.
Beauty she was. Beauty she was. And
How'd
I'll
she
catch her
taste?
yet.
I hear tell that down by the lock at Boonesboro, they have catfish big as Volkswagens.
Which
Serious, hand to God. I've heard people say that they were down there and they saw them. Big as freaking Volkswagens, just catfish. Just sit down there underneath that lock, eating whatever happens to come off the waterfall.
What's a catfish? What's a Volkswagen?
Well, I know loads of folks with wagons. says the storekeeper. So, have you got your plan? Are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Artos would just be like getting some javelins set up with rope or chain, whatever you would be able to have, just in case he needs to kind of throw one at this thing and try to stick it in there.
It's a catfish the size of a Volkswagen.
Other than that, I don't have anything to prep.
Okay. So once you're ready, I presume you walk up to the to Dragonmere. It's easy to follow the Braddock. An hour or two. It's 5, 6, 7 miles through forested territory. It's not easy going, but it's not difficult to follow the river, and then you come to the forest falls away, and you can see in front of you, stretching out for a few hundred feet, right, a lake with a sandy shore. On the sandy shore, there is a blackened post with some manacles hanging from it. There's a grey rock next to it, and a little sort of causeway out into the lake. And attached to the causeway, there's a barge with a long rope that you can pull back. It's the barge is just floating 10, 20 feet from the shore. The lake itself is covered in mist. The mist is blowing over it, but it's past. And on the other side, you can just see this dense, thick wall of green, 200-300 yards away. All the way around the lake would be about a mile. It's not a big lake. There are 2 streams running in, and on the other side you can see a little bit of white water, but then it just disappears under a thicket, a sort of a mesh of thorny briars and branches and leaves. The whole thing is just a hedge. But you can't see exactly where Robin's Brook is, but from the contours of the land, you can work out where it must be, because water flows down, and you can see the shape of the valley behind the canopy of green.
Okay. Now, remember, my friends will only help us for about an hour. You think we are close enough to get them now? Or shall I whistle for them and take the barge and we go into this lake as far as it can go and then whistle for them?
Should probably call them now. If we wait, they may not be able to get through the brambles.
Oh, fair enough. They don't worry about the brambles. They fly over them.
We would be in the brambles if we went in, though.
Okay, all right.
And
this whole thing, I was planning an underwater encounter.
Okay. Hey, I mean that could still happen. Artos, he's wearing like this armor that's kind of like been scuffed up, so that isn't as shiny, since he knows he's going to be going in here. And he like places this necklace around his neck.
Before we go, just to give me about 10 minutes, and then I'll whistle for my friends. And he'll go and he'll dance a little bit, and he'll pick up some water from the lake and brush it up his nose a little bit, and then he'll take out some gillyweed from his, and then hand it to each one of you. Whoever eats of this gillyweed after doing this ritual will be able to breathe water, if you so choose, for the next day.
Strong soul, while
I'm sure your lungs are strong, man, but you can breathe air and water a lot.
Yeah.
And with your strong lungs, you can breathe a lot of water.
Take his little drum out, and he'll be beating a tune to the way that the old geezer is hopping and fetching.
I still got rhythm. I ain't throwing my hip out yet.
So this is my necklace. I don't think it'll allow me to breathe in water.
Yes, it does.
It does?
Yes.
Okay.
All environments.
So yeah, he kind of like waves you off and says, I'm prepared with a boon from my lady.
What about you there, dwarf?
I'll eat it. I fate worse.
And a strong soul.
I'm good.
All right. 24 hours. We can breathe underwater. Long concentration. Ritual. No biggie.
I think anybody else should probably grab it, but I think I'm good.
I'll take theirs. I'll take their share. just so it's more effective.
Super breath and water.
Great dwarf.
Like twice as much oxygen underwater.
I got super breathe. All right, and then I'll whistle. All right, I suck. Yeah, pretty much what I'm saying. Conjure animals. I can get 8 challenge rating, 1/4, which will be the large bat from a monster mole.
Are they size large?
Yes.
Would that be large enough to carry the Goliath?
Well, he is still man size, correct?
Yeah, he's still classified as
medium. Okay.
Yeah.
They just have the
he pushes the edge of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
He gets the biggest bet.
My bat's wobbly.
It's just like it's flapping like 3 times as fast as the other one.
Yeah.
Well, I get 8 of them, so I mean, we could have 2 each.
Yeah.
They take it in turns on the Goliath.
Yeah.
2
large beast, unaligned.
2 each. He'll take a string.
So you could like stride them, like one.
That's what he's going for.
Back,
take a string on either, the hold and stand.
Yeah. Fly 60 feet, so that's pretty fast. I mean,
So you fly across the Dragonmere, and where from you can't actually see underneath the canopy, but the forest climbs rapidly. You're in mountains, and it's almost like a cliff. You're flying up, circling up, following the crashing of a brook underneath. Sometimes you hear a rush and gurgle as it passes through some kind of gully underneath the canopy of trees. Other times you can hear the crash of a waterfall as you're following it up. but there are no gaps in the canopy to see through. Just an emerald blanket of thorny briars. Occasional birds looking up at you, and your bats startle crows who take to the air, watching you as you pass. But there are patches of steam that rise on the left and on the right side of the bottom of the valley, or the bottom of the sort of V that you are following up between two craggy shoulders that lead up towards the mountain peak. And you push on up through this tanglewood and finally get to the end of it. The other end, it ends in a cliff face, which rises up, and you can go up the cliff face and still up to the peak of the mountain. And having passed over the tangle, over the death tangle, you haven't seen an obvious way in. But there was one place that sort of stood out from the rest of it. There was a sort of loud, a sort of menacing kind of roar of water, where steam came, slightly warm and fetid smelling steam rose from that area. And you presume that if you go down through the canopy in that area, that might be the place to go.
That is what I'm presuming as well.
Is there a color to that steam? Or is it normal looking steam?
It's fairly normal looking steam, maybe slightly miscolored, but white. But it's got the scent of all the steam around here has got the stench of some kind of poison. They're distant, but the whole place smells of poison.
And strong soul will holler over to his compadres. The air down there is vile.
Let us land nearby and see if that is where the dragon lives.
It will have taken you about 20 minutes to fly up, 25 minutes to fly to the other side of the death tangle, over the 2 miles.
All right. Plenty of time.
All right.
So sorry, I missed that. What's your next objective?
Let us land near the sound.
Okay.
Steam rising.
You say
Near,
land. Would you like to land on the canopy?
As close as the bats can come down.
Okay. The bats sort of flutter down, but there are thorns sticking out and vines. The whole place smells bad of poison as you approach, and they're fluttering around looking for a place to land, but they could possibly find one, but it's not easy landing. I'd like you to all for your bats make a D20 dex check, DC 15
For the bats or for us?
For the bats.
for the bats. Do you know what the bats dexterity
I
is?
rolled a 19 on the die for my bat.
Some stupid reason I closed the monster manual, but I'm opening it again. I will get it just quite shortly.
Okay, so
my
Dan,
one bat.
Giant octopod. Giant bat has a dexterity of 16 plus 3.
So a +3 modifier.
Awesome. So I just made it.
Okay.
My,
Okay.
my one bat has a 15, and the other is a 7.
Okay.
My bat fails.
Okay. Dan. Let's see.
Got a 19 on the die, so I guess it's a 22.
Yep. Horig.
I got a
Ash. Yep. Horig, Ash, and Strong Soul. Your bats, in amongst the treacherous vines and things, find one safe place to grab hold of and settle on one of the upper branches. But Ash, as you are trying to settle down, the bat is trying to find a place. The vine lashes out at your bat, and it just gets impaled on vines and sort of held there. And what's the hit points of the bat?
22.
Okay. Okay, it's bleeding, but it's bleeding, and you think it's poisoned as well by whatever it's been cut by. You are on top. You're now on top of the canopy. There's still thick vines, thick thorns to cut your way down through this overgrown. This forest of, basically you've got a hedge underneath you that you need to cut your way through if you want to get down, but you've found a place to land on it to start your cutting your way through.
Before we do, I will reach out and I will touch Strong Soul, myself, and oh God.
Sir Artos or Horig?
Artos.
Mm-hmm.
And each one I'll just sit there and be like, oh, please keep the foul poison this creature that has befallen and disrupted this land from affecting each one of us. And protection from poison. You have resistance to poison damage and advantage on poison saves.
I have a necklace of adaptation, so it would probably make sense to give it to the other guy.
I'm a dwarf. I don't need it.
He has that already.
Ah.
Does your necklace of
All right, well, I'll
adaptation
take
give
it
you
just in
protection?
case.
The
Does that
necklace.
help with your poison or anything?
Yeah, the necklace only helps you breathe, but it doesn't
with the breathing.
like physical wounds. It wouldn't
I have
help you with.
advantage on saving throws made against harmful gases and vapors. So yeah, I'll take that actually. So now I have advantage and I have resistance too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Right. So, how would you like to get through the vines? You've got a wall, basically, a living wall between you and getting down.
All right, old man, can't you make them move or something? Make them just go away. Wilt. Burst into flames. I don't know.
Burst into flames? Ah! Strong Soul pointing his finger on out, and he'll shoot a firebolt at the hedge.
Okay.
And try to clear away with firebolt.
It's a cantrip, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Slowly, with your firebolts, you're able to sort of burn a path down through, burn back the thorns, and just sort of reveal the scorched main branches that you're able to climb down, sort of break off the charred branches, and there's still this thick main branches will support you easily, but
Strong Soul will lead the way
You're about
So
30.
the rest of the
You're
party knows.
30 to 40 feet above the dark forest floor, and it's climbing down trunks of trees and things. It's a DC 10, but make an athletics roll to get down safely, please, each of you.
Believe it or not, I am.
Oh
proficient in that.
shit!
Yeah.
First, before you go down, please, as each one descends, I'll be like, please, forest spirits of the tree, whatever happens to be here that's still good, assist them in climbing, as you'll have guidance as I touch you as each one levels down.
So are you going
So you got-
one by one? Are you sort of
I
is
can only
one
cast
going?
it once around, so.
Don't worry about Strong Soul. He's pretty good at athletics.
All right.
Hey, so I have a +9 to athletics, and I rolled a 1.
Well,
So you made it.
I rolled
Yep.
a 27.
Okay.
Never mind.
Strong Soul has a 17.
Okay.
I
So
made it also.
you scramble down. You scramble down the trunks. You do need to get through the whole thing is like you're pushing through a hawthorn hedge, but with your flaming, you're able to burn a path down to the floor, and here you hear a sort of ominous of some sort of roaring river under just near you, sort of channeling through rock, but also the smell of there's a sort of sweet perfume in the air, but it's cloying, and you can feel your eyes sort of tingling a bit. For Sir Artos, your necklace protects you from the worst, but I'd like everybody else. Does it give you immunity or just advantage on saves? I don't know the.
It gives you advantage.
Advantage and resistance.
Okay,
To damage.
so all of you make a saving throw against poison, please.
Good thing I have advantage. Even a 1.
But how does it work with me being a dwarf? I think I'm
Again, you get advantage. You get advantage,
okay.
and you get.
You have advantage
And
and
if
you have
you-
resistance.
If you're damaged, you get half damage. But
Same thing as we got with the spell.
19.
everybody else.
19 for Strong Soul.
Gotcha. Character sheet.
I was just looking to see what my Constitution save was.
Okay, 16.
Okay.
19 for me also with advantage.
All of you can sort of feel the sort of cloying effects, but you're pretty resilient, and if you spend a lot of time here, it'll get you in the end. But at the moment, you're not affected by it.
How's our female guest doing?
She,
Did not get a spell.
yeah, she's clearly suffering the effects. And I didn't roll for her. She actually fell, and she fell as she was climbing down because of she's affected by the poison. She fell, and she's pretty badly injured.
Oh, I'm sorry.
When you come down to join her.
I'm sorry, miss. Have faith. This will soon be over. If you wish, you can just stay here.
Is she conscious or unconscious?
She's conscious.
Okay.
Good. I don't want to waste a spell.
Okay.
Could I get her, like, could I treat her disease by, like, lay on hands, like that, your disease thing, like those 5 hit points for...
5 hit points to get rid of the poison effect.
Yeah, could I do that?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll do that. Just, fucking lawful good. So.
Does anybody feel that we're near?
Near? Now, being dragons is his greater favorite enemy, Strong Soul will go ahead and say, green dragons have a poisonous breath weapon and such. So this foul air may be after effects.
Don't mean to be meta or anything, but could you use your primeval awareness?
That does
direction. You can use it as many times as you want. You can tell the direction of things. I don't know.
Yeah, but I think it's creatures. Or
dragons are creatures.
I'm looking at it right now to make sure.
I think it's like you can.
It's like aberrations and dragons, undead. Yeah. Anything that isn't like natural, that's in like a natural place, you can kind of suss it out.
Okay, that's
similar like a paladin.
That's a little different from the Player Handbook Classic one then. Yeah. Okay. Trying to get used to this UA one. Yeah. All right. I'll try that.
Okay. Is that what it does?
It says the powerful link to beast.
Oh.
And to the land around you. Yeah.
In the Unearthed Arcana. Yep.
Yep.
Okay, it's different. Okay.
So.
Never mind then.
Oh no, and she doesn't have this ability. She's a spellless ranger.
Damn it!
I knew she was worthless.
Are they good? I don't know. I've never used one of them.
They're all right. It's a fun from the read on it. I have never played one, but from the read on it, they could be fun.
Well, perhaps you could determine if there's tracks nearby or such. So just a simple survival check, dear ranger. You're good at hunting green dragons, and surely you could be able to tell by the land how near it is.
Let's see here. That'd be a 21.
Okay, where you've come down, the sound is water sort of bubbling out of rock near you and funneling down sort of a very narrow gully in the rock. It's no more than 6 feet 6 feet across, but the force of the water is really fast and strong at this point. But you see clear signs that the rock has been scraped, and there are little there's dragon scales have been knocked off and have got lodged in little cracks in the rock that leads into this gully. So you think this is the entrance, where the water comes foaming out of some underground river, coming out at force. This is where the dragon goes into its lair.
And Strong Soul will pick up a couple of the scales.
You'd have to basically, the dragon dives into a sort of foaming white pool and goes into an underground river, pulling upstream of an underground river.
So,
told you.
I am not looking forward to this.
You want some gillyweed now?
Nope, I'm good.
But presumably it comes out.
But Strong Soul will pick up a couple of the dragon scales and say, "This is the way. Right down through here."
Would you like some gillyweed now?
Having a look at the river, it's big enough for if the dragon was if the dragon grew to the next size, the dragon would probably block the river, but it's big enough to grip both sides of this sort of gully, this underground foaming, rushing river, and with its claws, you reckon it pulls itself up against the current. You'll have more trouble.
Um,
Or will we?
Strong Soul will say, "This is a big mother."
Is there no like water top of the underground? I mean, is it just like completely there's no air in between the water and the top of the cavern?
You can't actually see. You can't see. You can just see the water churning out. You're at the limit of where you are is the river, churning white rapids, but it comes out of rock basically, and under the rock you can't really see. The water is foaming white, and you can't really see beyond whether there is air to breathe or not.
And Strong Soul will say, "Do you want to live forever?" And he's going to jump feet first on in.
Okay. You are swept downstream.
Okay.
And make an athletics roll. You're swept away from the entrance to the lair downstream, but make an athletics roll.
Okay, that's a athletics. That's a 19.
Okay, so you take half damage as you are bashed against the side of the rock, and you take, with half damage, you take 18, 26, 13.
All right.
13 bludgeoning, and you're swept down 200. You see the Goliath swept out of sight into the thorny sort of underbrush beyond sight.
Well, I'm glad he did it, so I didn't have to. Where do you think he went?
I don't know. I'm trying to. I'm using my walking stick, trying to ease on down the side of the rocks, down into the briars. I'm coming for you.
Okay. The briars sort of lash out at you as you go. Make a dexterity check, please. DC 15.
Because I'm dexterous.
Dexterity, please.
Yeah. That'd be a 12 on the die. I'm assuming I'm not that proficient in dexterity saving throws. I'm not. I fail.
Okay. You basically, you're pushing through, but you get cut as you do so, and you take just 3 hit points damage. I'd like you to make a saving throw versus poison as well.
I don't know that. I have advantage on. That's a 16. Wow. Double
Okay.
15s on the die.
Successful. Okay. Again, it's poisoned, but your resistance protects you. Also, as you
How much
pull
damage did I take?
3. Yes, just a minor cut. But there are lizards watching you as you're pulling yourself, as you start sort of pushing yourself downstream, and you are down. You can hear. No, you can't actually hear anything because there's just the roaring of the river. But you've found a place to pull yourself onto the side. Strong Soul, but the thorns are lashing at you. Sort of are lashing around as well. Make a dexterity save, please.
Okay, that's a dexterity, so that's over there. That's a 24.
24. A 24 dexterity save. Okay, you avoid the worst of you avoid them, and they don't even cut you.
As they start striking out at me, I'm going to blast them with firebolt.
Okay. Gradually you hear the kindling and the crackling of forest, and so Onwe is able to meet up with Strong Soul after about, traveling at that speed, it would be after about 5 minutes. You meet up.
Wow, that wasn't such a good idea, now was it? Now,
It was a great ride.
I'm sure it was. Now, if we know that a huge clawed beast can force their way up through this, now, perhaps that's how we get up there as well.
We become a large cloud beast.
Yes. Take my friend Artos here. He looks quite strong. I'm sure he has an inner beast that I can unleash in himself and take away his human nature and let the inner great beast out.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I don't like it. What's the plan, old man?
Say, I strip your humanity away, temporarily, of course, and you let your inner beast come forth into a huge, giant, say, crocodile. Then you could crash up there through that opening like the dragon did while taking us with you.
Or at least maybe tying a rope to him and dragging it behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could ride on that.
You can tie some ropes around me and use them as handles. And I'll try to swim upstream.
Now, you don't mind this, do you?
I mind it, but
I mean, you can even
This
go
creature-
up there and beat the dragon.
this creature, I don't think it's the kind that will limit its ambition just to this shady grove. The dales that surround this place are in danger as well. I'll do what it takes.
All right.
Do it. And he just kind of stands there, like not really expecting what to happen, but he's just like, okay.
And I sit there and I wave my hands around you, and I don't think polymorph is. I don't think it's touch. I think it's a distance spell.
I'm not sure, but I'm right there.
Yeah.
You can touch me if you want.
All right. And I'll touch you, and I'll put my hands on you, and then suddenly you start to transform into. You wouldn't have to have a monster manual on you, would you?
Yeah, I got him.
Okay, good.
Am I a crocodile or a giant crocodile?
Giant fucking crocodile.
Oh yeah.
Why would I turn you into a regular one?
Strong
And
Soul
you
will
can-
say, crocodile tail for dinner. Sweet meat.
Okay, so it has a swim speed of 50, strength of 21, constitution
Huge.
17. Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna
Okay.
stay as this thing for a little bit. If that's okay. Just looked up its stats. Yeah, so this crocodile kind of like I don't know what he would do. It looks confused and a little panicked, but it relaxes after a while. And you see the rope that Artos brought along, kind of like tied up
Now-
on his pack.
I have to concentrate on this. So just let it be known. As long as I'm concentrating on it, you can be a crocodile. You can be a large beast like the dragon. You can even reach up there and eat it as this beast.
You just hear this like gigantic thing just bubble up with a hiss, like
Bite it, grab a hold of it, and shake it. Now,
Alright.
let me get some rope out and tie it around you and lash myself to you, at least temporarily. I may have other plans once we get up there. Okay, so I don't have to look at the giant crocodile anymore. You got that?
yeah, I got it.
Okay.
How's that?
Okay, with the current is very strong and will bash you sort of against the sides, but with your swim speed and strength, you'll be able to sort of pull yourself up. You'll be able to grab hold of either side, and as the dragon does, drag yourself up against the current. But can you just make a strength check, DC 15,
Okay.
please?
For the crocodile. Okay, 15 on the die. I think.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay, so you're able to avoid the buffeting from the water and just and pull yourself. You pull yourself. You pull through a narrow bit of raging water and come into a bit where you're in an underground river, which is flowing. It's flowing, but it's not flowing nearly as fast, and you can't see any. I'm guessing the giant crocodile doesn't have any dark vision or anything like that. But you're an animal.
No.
You've got decent. You've kind of got. I'm going to give you some kind of. You're underwater. You're comfortable underwater, and there are reeds blowing against you with a current, but the current isn't strong, and you get the sense that the chamber you're in now, you can swim upwards. It divides. Basically, you can continue against the current, swimming upstream, or there's some sort of still water. If you go directly upwards,
Okay.
and there are little underwater plants trying to grab you, but with your 21 strength, they just don't have any. You can go wherever you want.
Okay. I'll go up to check out what's in this little slow spot.
Okay. So you avoid the current and head. How long is the piece of rope that you attached to him?
I kind of figured they were like tying it around the crocodile's body, like be able to hold on to it, like a makeshift kind of lasso saddle kind of thing.
Yeah, like a harness. I tied myself to him.
Yeah.
So you were all attached to the crocodile as he was swimming upstream.
I let him pull me up. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to ask you all to make an athletics roll then to avoid. You're going to be buffeted by the crocodile's all right, and he can swim upstream and pull you upstream, but you're all going to be buffeted against the rocks as you go upstream. All make an athletics roll, please.
Oh, please, four spirits, help me
18.
as I do this.
Strong soul.
18 as
18.
well. Me too.
Okay. You avoid the worst, but you get some buffets and blows as you're going upstream.
Yeah, I only got an 11.
You don't avoid the worst. You get some savage blows as you're going up.
Oh shit!
So you take 14 if you didn't make your save. So Ash takes 14, and
Wow, 14.
And the others take 7. And can you make your concentration check?
I made it.
Damn it!
I was waiting for that to happen.
Warcaster feat is exactly why I took that.
Nice.
Concentration checks. I take 14 points of damage. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yep. Rapids. It's difficult for little bodies. Anyway, then you've left the underwater current and you swim upwards through an underground chamber, and above you can see light and the surface of a pool, a small lake, and it's all green light is coming down from above.
All right, I'll continue up, going towards the green light.
Go up to the surface.
Yeah, I kind of want to do like the crocodile thing where I kind of surface among the reeds, trying to kind of camouflage myself and take a look while I'm still submerged.
Okay, yep. There are shallows with aquatic plants leading up to the surface, and you sort of make your way amongst those, and then just gradually, just your eyes sort of bob up to the surface, and you take a look. You're in you're in an you're in a sort of chamber. A cutout of rock with overhanging cliffs coming down and a canopy of green at the top that the light is shining through, but there are just hanging creepers covering. You're not sure why you couldn't see it from the outside, but this is probably where the dragon takes off and flies out and flies in. This is another way in anyway, but it seems to be. I mean, you're a crocodile, so you're not too able to analyze it too deeply. But basically, you are in a fairly large, about 80 foot across, underground lake with the lake's about 40 foot across, and then there's a shore and a bank with little it's a very beautiful garden, basically, with a few huts. You can hear the sound of a chisel. There are small trees, and you can hear the sound of music down here as well.
Okay.
And just one other thing, opposite the lake from the garden and the noise of the chisel and the music is a sort of basically a sculpture, a rock coming out of the water, but it's in the shape of various writhing serpents looking up adoringly at something and forming a sort of bowl for a dragon to lie on. It's basically a dragon's throne. The dragon will nest on this, and it's all sculptured in the form of writhing serpents looking up at this, looking up at whatever's sitting on it in admiration.
Knock it over.
So yeah, the crocodile kind of like is chilling here. It'll give you guys a chance to take a look around and decide what you want to do. He can't speak, so he can't make his opinion known.
Shake your head, yay or nay.
Yeah, he doesn't have a way to express his plan. Like, he'll just wait until somebody else makes a plan and be like, yes or no.
Strong soul.
You see. Oh, go on.
Will let go, and he's going to stay in the water and try to stealth his way up, looking.
Stealthily swim.
No, he can walk.
Okay.
There, under the water.
Where will you aim for, or what are you? I mean, you can get your head out of the surface and take it in. Just again, there's a sort of dragon throne and a garden with little towards the dragon throne. Okay. It's an ornately carved rock, but it doesn't have a dragon on it at the moment.
Okay.
So it's just the throne for now.
Oh, and sorry. Also, just I forgot to mention one thing. I said there are creepers hanging down from a sort of canopy above. Occasionally, some of them are white. You've seen them before. They're spider webs are hanging down, and there are large creatures wrapped in a cocoon of spider webs, and there are skeletons around the throne of cattle, of deer, other things like that. There are various bones around the throne and in the water around the throne.
Maybe we should move on.
But
the crocodile can't say that.
Fair enough.
Then,
Perhaps it would be best to take on the dragon in another area where there are not large spiders trying to drop on our head while we're fighting said beastie.
How high would the ceiling be in this cavern?
if I describe it as a ceiling, it's more like a net of overgrowth. You can get out of it. You could push through it quite easily, but it would be about 200 feet above the water level.
Okay.
What's the closest part of the spider web to the water level and the throne?
Oh, they're quite high up. They're about 150 feet down. Maybe 100 would be the nearest.
100. Okay.
And it's not a web. It's just something cocoon, some cocooned creature in there.
Okay.
Large cocoon creature?
Yes.
Like huge, like dragon-sized cocoon?
No.
Creature?
No.
Oh, okay.
They're in fact, I'll let you know. Basically, you can see little bits of antlers sticking out of one, or cow horns sticking out of another. It's dragon food.
Okay.
You see an elf appears. He's playing a flute. He's in
Does
the
he
garden.
notice us? Like, does he know about us, or are we still hidden from us?
I think you're hidden. He hasn't noticed you.
Another dragon thrall. I'll whisper into the crocodile's ear. Next chamber, the dragon's down here. Submerge.
All right. Yeah, the crocodile would slink back down.
Who went up to the dragon? Who went up to the dragon throne?
Oh shit! Never mind. Don't leave.
But yeah,
Don't
like
leave.
you would
Don't
wait
leave.
until he came back.
Strong Soul was walking
Strong Soul.
under the
Make
water.
a perception roll, please.
All right.
Never split the party.
I wasn't. I didn't
Yeah,
think.
he's like right there.
Well, we were about to leave, so I was like,
21.
oh, no.
21. Okay. From up by the dragon throne, behind the dragon throne, there's water, and most of it reflects a little bit of green light, and you can sort of see the rock vaguely, the algae covered, weed covered rock through it. But one bit of the weeds is not as thick, and you think there might be another tunnel behind the throne, underwater.
Okay. Strong Soul will come back to the group and let them know what he found by looking. About the differences in moss and algae, and that he thinks there's a underground tunnel behind the throne.
Perhaps that's where the dragon... How big was the tunnel? Big enough for a dragon?
Big enough.
Possibly. Yep. No,
Was
actually, no. You don't think it was quite big enough for the dragon. You could fit
Right.
down it, but the crocodile probably couldn't.
Oh.
We could fit down it. I'm sure. Don't know about that dragon. Hey, Croc, you might be in a tight spot.
Everybody make a perception roll. No, make an investigation roll, please.
Investigation.
Crocodiles are really good at investigation. My intelligence is 2?
I don't.
Your
Yes.
intelligence is...
My intelligence is my intelligence, right?
Yep.
Uh,
I don't know why
7.
they forgot to include
Wisdom
I rolled a
investigation.
one.
charisma are
So-
yours. I rolled a 1 as well. That's awesome.
Yeah, I got a 3.
Okay,
A 3, a 1,
Did
a
I
1.
not roll terrible?
it's a good job. This isn't an investigation adventure.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've checked the throne room. The only way out of there are two ways out: the way you came, or back to the nursery. Sorry, down the secret tunnel. Oh, giving it away, damn it. Okay, so you go back the way you came, down into where the underground river was flowing. Again, everybody make an investigation.
Okay.
8.
12.
15.
There we go.
Okay.
Crunk.
The crocodile has no way of communicating this. So who else? What were the other roles?
I could see all the pieces of the puzzle.
Uh,
The strong soul
Strong
has
Soul
12.
got a 12.
12. Okay, yep, that's good enough. You get the impression that the current isn't quite as strong as it was.
Strong soul will speak in a normal tone and say, "We don't have as much resistance. What's going on? The current. Is something blocking it or slowing it down?"
Perhaps it's just not as the ground underneath is not so angled elevation. My God, I can't speak English. Steep. The ground below is not so steep.
Your impression is that you've just re-entered the river that you were swimming up before, and you're in the same place, but now the current isn't as strong in the same place.
Oh.
The strong soul will suggest maybe we should hide to the side.
The crocodile is sure of that too, but he has no way of communicating it.
Yeah, the crocodile would, I don't know, can he see anything past his snout?
The river is pretty murky and it's full of trailing weeds, but you can see half distance, so you can see sort of 15 feet, 20 feet.
Can I smell anything?
You can smell poison and an apex predator.
How far away is that?
No, it's lingering, a lingering smell of you're in the den of an apex predator, but it's not immediately on you.
Strong soul's devil sight. Can he see much with it?
Again, it's obscuring. It's kind of like being in fog, is how I imagine it, rather than darkness. So it's obscuring. I don't know on the effects of devil sight, but I think that's basically superior dark vision, isn't it?
It's can see in any type of darkness,
Even magical darkness.
for 120
Yeah,
feet.
but this isn't magical darkness. This is the equivalent of fog, which is a different sort of thing. I think you need. You can still see. You can still see a good distance, but not as far as you could.
Well, yeah, that's fine. I was just trying to improve our sight more than 15 feet is all.
Yeah, you can see out to 30 feet.
Okay.
But there's a lot of algae in the water beyond that.
Okay, I'll take that. At least gives us 30 feet that if something happens like that I see a shadow moving, I can slap the alligator and let the guys know.
All right. Yeah, the crocodile will continue forward.
Okay. You're upstream, you mean?
Yeah, upstream.
Okay. You start swimming upstream. You notice a small. Well, actually, make a perception check.
As the crocodile.
Crocodile.
Your wisdom score.
Yeah, what's my perception?
It'll be straight, I think.
Yeah, straight up. Okay. 14.
14. Okay. You notice a small side tunnel that you wouldn't be able to fit in. Again, you're underwater, but the main tunnel continues up and against the stream.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
too big for you. It's too big for a dragon.
Yeah.
I mean, too small for you. It's too small for a dragon. At least a big dragon.
So I guess I would kind of like pull myself up next to this outcropping and allow the others to kind of take a look inside.
Yep, there's an entrance to there's an entrance sort of snaking up to it. Sort of bends round on itself. Human-sized things, even large things, could fit up here, but not huge. But you can't. But it twists out of sight. And there are, again, like everywhere, there are plants hanging down. Would you like to investigate, or there isn't any current coming out of it?
Okay. I'll leave it to you guys. I'll kind of like swim along there until you give me a signal to move on. So you can go check it out and then come back. There's no current.
I'll swim down it a little bit. I don't want to swim down it. Sure. Swim down it a little bit.
Okay. You swim, well, you say down, you swim upwards actually, and you come into, you meet another passageway coming in as you enter a largish chamber, not huge, but largish, and as you move in, did anyone go with you?
Dwarf.
Pardon?
Does Dwarf go with me?
Yeah, I would.
Okay. You see 3 wormlings coming your direction.
Retreat!
All right. Hop on! And crocodile will try to outrun him, I guess.
Your swim speed is 50, did you say?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 50.
Okay, you beat the wormlings.
You know what? They gotta die eventually, right?
I mean, you guys can shoot at him and stuff while I'm going. So they'll never be able to attack you. You'll just like chuck arrows at them and stuff like that while I'm swimming.
I don't have an arrow.
Spells, whatever you want to do. Do you want to fight them or do you want to keep going?
Guys, is that our plan?
Roll initiative, please.
All right.
It doesn't matter what your plan is. Roll initiative.
Okay.
There is no plan.
All right. 21st.
Yes, I get to fight as a crocodile. I was afraid I was going to die before I got to fight as a crocodile.
20 for Strong Soul.
6 for Ash.
So tell me again. Strong Souls 20.
Is 20.
20. Ash 6. Sir Artos
10.
and Horig
5.
5.
I'm not last. I'm not last.
So it goes. Basically, it goes Strong Soul first. The Goliath. You see them approaching.
Okay. And I love the alert feat for that.
Oh, +5 to initiative, right?
Oh yeah.
Badass.
You see,
So if you guys want to stay attached to me and not get like pulled away in the current, it might be a good idea to hold your action until I go up to him.
Fair enough.
Unless you have like a ranged thing.
Well, this is kind of a range thing. I was going to cast Sacred Flame on him, on the lead one.
does that have? Actually, yes, you can hold on with one hand and cast it.
Yep.
Do your thematic with the other, can't you? Yep.
And it'd be a DC 13.
Okay. Nope. It's you strike it.
Okay. Great. And let's see here. Let me make sure on that so I don't grab the wrong die. Sacred Flame, come on. That is, let's see here, D8s. So I get 2 D8s. And that'd be 16, 17 points of damage.
Okay. Your radiant energy burns into the first of the dragons, and it comes swimming up towards you angrily, and lets out at short range. It lets out when it gets to within 15 feet. It lets out a blast of poisonous. It's like a whirlpool of poisonous algae comes flying through the water towards both of you, towards all of you. I'd like you all to make a Constitution save, please.
Okay, con for crocodile.
And you've got advantage because it's poison.
Yeah.
18.
I got a 14 total.
Wow.
19.
Okay, the DC is 11. This cloying algae covers you, and first blast of real dragon breath. Those who made it, if you were taking full damage, it'd be 33, but you're all resistant. Is that not right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So it'd be half down to 16, and halved again if you made your save down to 8.
I am a little crocodile.
Concentration
And
check.
then
Pass.
Impervious to dragon breath.
and then the next one, the
Same thing.
next one also comes up and does the same tactic. Breathes on you. This one for make your saves again. DC 11, and it would be 25. Halved would be 12. 12 or 6, depending on whether you make a DC 11 poison save.
Barely made the concentration check.
Oof. That's
would have been bad. 19 on the die.
okay. So you take half damage. You take 6.
Okay.
And then after these two, we move on to Sir Artos, or the crocodile.
All right, the crocodile's gonna bite the head off of one of them, or try to.
Okay. Oh, cool.
I got a crit.
Describe. One of them's already injured, so I mean I don't know what the damage of a crocodile is, but
It's 3d10 for the bite, and then I got a tail attack as well.
well, just tell me how the sudden lunge and bite attack takes out the injured first one.
It was injured?
Yeah, you just see this crocodile just like reach out and rip and snap and rend as the water just like turns this blackish red around you. And you just see one of the bodies go and, like flow far away with a quick current. It's gonna like turn around and try to hit the other one with its tail.
Okay.
What is 13 plus 8? 21.
21. Yep. Hits.
13.
13. Okay, and you bat it with your tail. Then it reacts and it breathes on all of you again. Poisonous algae flying through the water. And if you save, you take 10. Then if you I've already halved this, so if you save, you take 10, and if you fail, you get. No, if you save, you could take 5, and if you fail, you get 10.
Oh,
Okay.
I was like, okay. And I failed. And
Saved with a 17.
that's a
These fucking
hell of a-
breath weapons. That's crazy.
So many.
Yeah, like
I was hoping to go first, but that's okay.
Okay. And did you keep your concentration up?
Yes.
Oh,
3
thank
con
God.
checks in a row.
Don't fail.
And now it is it's Ash next.
Form of water elemental. Suddenly, Ash just turns into a large. He kind of disappears, I suppose, into the water, but you can see that's a form. He's an aqueous type blob of gelatin, swinging through the water at amazing, blinding speed. And we'll go ahead and punch. Ah, fuck it. No, I'll just run right into the space. Are the wormlings larger or medium size?
No, they're medium.
Size, right? All right. Have both of them give me a 15 DC strength saving throw.
Okay. One yes, the other one fails.
Okay, the one that passed manages to get out of my way as I just swarm in like a huge underground wave onto them. They both, however, will take 15 points of bludgeoning damage.
They both take this. Okay. One of them looks like you've staved in the ribs, but it's definitely injured, but still, but its chest is impacted by the torment that you're throwing them in.
And the one that failed the saving throw is grappled and restrained as it is held inside me.
Okay. And then we go on to
Push out of my space.
Horrig.
okay.
One hand on the crocodile, the other hand free.
So I'll slash at the foul beast. One of them at least.
Okay. Are you slashing at the one that's held in sort of? It seems to be held by some swirling white water, or the one that's free.
I'll slash at the one that's free.
Okay. Or when I say slash, what is your weapon?
Well, smash. It's a hammer.
Okay, you're attacking at a disadvantage whilst you're underwater.
Slow motion.
Oh, natural 20. Thanks. Like
Womp.
shit, a 5. 15. And yeah, the other one doesn't hit because that was a natural one. But yeah, the first one was a 15.
Okay,
So,
15. Again, 15 sort of clatters off. It's only a wyrmling, but it still has dragon armor, so you're unable to penetrate its tough hide underwater.
Well, that's my turn.
And then Strong Soul, you're the next to react.
All right, the one that Strong Soul hit before it was all.
No, that one was bitten in two by the crocodile.
Oh, okay. So there's a one that's in trap basically, and then one that's free. So the one that's free, Strong Soul will cast another Sacred Flame.
Okay. Oh yes, so it has to make a save. Sorry, I thought it was your attack. Nope, you strike it.
16 points of damage.
Oof. Okay. Again, your sacred flame blasts into it, and you see blood gout out of its mouth, but it still looks to be going, and it swims towards you to try and well, I'll see if it gets it's trying to grasp at its poison, get its poison breath back, but it doesn't. So it just decides to tear at you with its bite. It's got a swim speed, so hits an armor class of 21.
Oh, that hits. Just barely.
Okay. So so it does you 8 points of piercing damage as the jaws bite into you, and you feel poison burning at your limbs. Make a save.
Okay.
If you fail, you get 3. If you make it, you get 1. Take 1 from the poison.
That will be a 19. So
Okay, so you take 1 from the another 1 from the poison, and then after that it's Sir Artos, the crocodile again. There are 2 fairly injured wormlings again.
All right, I will go for the closest one. 15.
Okay. Yep, that's.
Would that hit him?
No, that doesn't. You bite at its hard scales, but though you get hold of it, your jaws don't manage to bite through its scales. Its scales resist.
Okay. Then I'll go for the tail. And that is 24.
Okay.
It is, man. 24.
So with that, you.
Woo! 8, 7 plus 5, 20.
Okay, you hammer it. You just bat it and send it flying into the side of the into an outcropping rock, and it just sort of starts floating down lifelessly with the current. After that, the last one, it's trapped in. Can it do anything inside?
It can't move.
Ash?
It is restrained. It has disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws. It can
Okay,
still
it
attack.
will
It can
try.
can still breathe if it can breathe.
Yep.
And it can
I'll
only
see
attack
if-
me as it's got no movement.
Yep.
And I swam away.
Yep.
That's it.
Okay then. So it tries to claw you from inside. Is that at disadvantage?
Correct.
Yep. So it only gets an AC of. This probably isn't enough.
AC 15. If my
13.
cloak of protection works.
13. Yep. Yes, it should work even on a elemental.
So yeah, 15 AC.
Yep. It claws ineffectively at you, trying to get out of this trap. And now it's you.
I will pummel it with my fist while it is trapped inside me. Thus it is restrained. I have advantage on it. So that would be a total of 19 to hit it with the first one.
Mhm.
And a crit on the second one. That's what I'm
Okay.
talking about. It's dead, right?
Okay, you just rip it. Yes, it just falls. It just kind of, in a tidal wave, it just rips to pieces, and in a centrifuge, bits of it go flying off and floating down the river.
That would be a total of 68 plus 8. Just
Yeah,
FYI.
it's completely
Okay.
dead.
Then I will look back, and I can still. They can speak, right? So it only knows Aquan, but since I know, I don't know Aquan. Could I still speak English? They
Yep.
can speak. Okay. I'll be like, wait. Yeah, I will go and swim down this hole, or you can follow me and determine if there's any more left and destroy any eggs.
Yep. So you basically, it's as you imagined. You swim up, find a sandy bank covered with weeds, sort of protecting it. A little bit of sort of a little covering of gold, silver, and copper coins, sort of to bury the eggs in, or half bury the eggs in. And a few small sheep and things like that, dead sheep left around, half eaten. There, this is the nursery, and there are a few eggs.
I will destroy the eggs.
Okay, you destroy the eggs and then make it back to the others.
Can I, the whelm thing? Can I whelm the gold?
Why not? I don't know how it works exactly, but you come back as a sort of glowing gold whirlpool.
Yeah.
A golden jacuzzi.
Yeah. Coin. Perhaps we should rest here. Like I could let go of the crocodile, return you back to human, and we can go up here and rest for a bit.
The crocodile seems like he wants to keep going.
He's like, head forward this way.
Restless.
What say ye, dwarf?
Yeah.
And strong soul.
Strong Soul is looking pretty rough, and so he's going to go ahead and use his stone endurance to get 10 more 10 more hit points back, and let's see here. Maybe he needs
Because I know my mortal form ain't great at all.
and he'll also, we're out of the niche, I take it. So,
Yep.
He'll cast Cure Wounds on himself at the second level.
What about you, dwarf? I don't know how a water elemental sounds. So.
Yes. And how do you respond to that, Horig?
Like if we are to take a rest or not, or something. I would just like use my lay on hands to heal myself up a bit, and I am ready to go, basically.
Let us continue with him and back to the dragon. Hold, is there any? Does this go any farther?
Yes, it does.
We'll continue down this path.
So you press on upstream and then come to another gentle sort of a place with no current, basically. You can hear at one end of this, you're in a big pool, a still pool. There are beautiful white sort of very smooth rocks at the bottom of it. There are there are various bits of dragon scale, sort of a few dragon scales sort of scraped on rock. You can see one very rough rock at one side, which looks like it's basically there for scraping. There's one smooth crystal which acts as a mirror. You can see yourselves in it, and as you swim up towards the surface, there's a little ledge near the surface with large stone amphora, or large stone jugs, basically, buckets on the shelf.
How big is that crystal?
And just one other detail: there's some water pouring down from the ceiling. There's a little waterfall in here coming down from the ceiling, but it's not very strong. What was your question?
How big is that crystal?
It's about it's a bit of rock that stretches up about 20 feet. and it's reflective.
That's pretty big. Now I was going to say, let's take that.
What could I do to that?
It's not mirror, but it's almost a mirror that you can see yourself in.
What's in the buckets?
You go up and have a look in the stone buckets, and there are different scented oils.
I'm sure the dragon covers these. I would say that we should follow them out into the water, but maybe we could save them to sell to help with the anguish that this dragon has caused this land instead. Can you all understand the
Yeah.
Okay.
Make another investigation roll.
Yeah, because we're really good at that. Hey, 14.
Okay. This is a fairly small. This is a narrow, smallish chamber, and because the diameter is not very big, it's not very large across. I mean, it's big enough for a huge dragon. It's 30, 40 feet across, but you can see it gradually. The water level is rising in here.
Oh, so it gets deeper?
No, basically, there is more water entering the room than is leaving.
It's like having a sink that has one level, and then you put some items in it, and it displaces the water, pushes the water up and out.
Mm-hmm.
Like a big dragon or something like that, maybe getting into this water source at one point to push the volume.
Yeah, it's the Archimedes principle right here. Let's.
How deep is it? I can swim.
At the moment, it's probably about 10, 20, 30 feet down, 30 feet of water from the bottom to the surface in this chamber.
I can swim around the whole thing and not find a dragon anywhere.
Nope, you can find, there are rocks, just ornamental rocks at the bottom.
If you think the rock can swim pretty fast, Yeesh. I can swim faster.
Oh yeah. And then suddenly,
Whatever is this beastie? Oh, never mind. Suddenly.
Then suddenly, the current suddenly starts. There's a sort of, and the current starts dragging you all, even the crocodile, but not the elemental. You're an elemental, so you'll be able to resist this. But everybody else, suddenly it's like there's a strong current, and you're being pulled back down the way you came. The current had slowed down. It's speeded up again. Everybody, as the current starts pulling you back down towards the chamber, the tunnel you swam up, make a athletics roll. In this room, because there's not much current, you can resist it.
Right,
16.
Athletics.
I will swim out with them and try to keep anybody from getting too far ahead, to protect
14.
19.
14. Okay. If you got 15 or more, you're okay. But if you got 14, you are sucked. The current takes you, and you're pulled down into the underground river back the way you came. The others, would you like to follow your Goliath friend or stay where you are?
Can I try to grab him?
Yes, the crocodile and the elemental can both make strength save.
Okay.
Strength save.
DC 15.
15.
Okay.
Hey.
So
Hey.
invited.
Yeah, I got him.
Okay, the elemental stops him. I'll say because the crocodile, the only way to stop him would be to bite him.
Gingerly.
I got you, don't
Gingerly.
worry. Oh shit! I bit off your arm.
Oh man.
That's not bad.
And sort of as you grab hold of the thing, there's a sort of as a sort of whirlpool forms in this room, and the water starts draining quickly like a sink. Things start circling around. Anything that's loose just spins and spins and goes down the whirlpool, and then after a bit, this sudden current slows down, and it's replaced by there's still quite a current going to the other end, but it's not as strong as the initial whirlpool.
What the hell is that?
Dragon.
What the hell was that? Well, all of you
There's
familiar
water
with the
coming
dragon.
in and water going out, but
Something sucked that water out of
For
out
what end? For what purpose?
like a big object leaving quickly.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
okay.
It knows we're here.
And you hear a roar of frustration somewhere in the distance.
Uh-oh.
No, just imagine what we're going to do next.
I think
Everybody make an initiative. Roll initiative, please.
shit. Where are we? We're still in the.
You're
Next chamber
basically back in. You're up. There's. You're in a shallow bit of lake. There's a sort of sandy bank that you can come out on next to the ledge where the oils were. You're basically. I'll tell you.
Okay.
You're in the bathroom. You're in the bathroom of this. There's a
So
shower.
it's got like
coming
one
down.
of those Polynesian
So he
toilets,
just
basically.
Yeah.
The dragon took a
And
dump, was reading his newspaper, wondering what to do, and then he flushed, and then he went and he saw, oh my god, my kids are dead. Bro!
Oh no!
Took the kids to the pool. Strong Soul had a 20 in this.
okay.
9
11.
I got a 6. I'm dead last again.
Hey, I got a 9. I'm better than you, dude. Faster, stronger.
Ooh.
Whenever I play D&D, I'm always last in initiative. I've like come to
Tell me them
accept
again.
that.
I don't mind being last at all in initiative a lot of the times. There's so many times where I've won initiative and they'd be like, oh, all right, what are you doing? I'd be like,
I don't know. I'm not gonna. I hold my action because I don't know what's going on.
A lot of times I'll be like, I'll just dodge just in case. I'm wary. Something going on? I don't know.
So in the distance, you hear a roar of frustration, and then and that's all at the moment.
Strong Soul will say, let's hide.
Well, it's your initiative.
And the
You can go
crocodile
first.
just
You can
gives
go
him
next.
like a really nasty look.
Strong Soul, are you hiding? What are you doing on your action?
Yeah, the Strong Soul will hide.
Okay, you look round. You could duck behind some of the urns, some of the stone urns, the oil bottles,
Giant mirror. The
What
crocodile.
about that?
or the crystal.
Yeah, I was going to say the crystal.
Or the
Okay.
crocodile.
Yeah, you can hide behind the crocodile.
Anything else you'd like to do, Strong Soul?
He'll take he'll take his bow off his shoulder
Mm-hmm.
and just ready in action that if an enemy person comes on in and threatens my party, I'll release the arrows. And
Okay.
his hide check or stealth check is a 21.
Okay. His passive perception is 22, so.
Okay. I can't
And
roll
then-
anymore, and I roll.
And then, okay, then the next thing that you notice occurring is all sorts of vines in your area all come grasping out to grab everybody. I'd like you to make a. Actually, no. At the end of your turn. No, he's just noticed you. Okay, so then vines come grasping out to grab you. I'd like all of you to make a DC 15 strength save, please.
Right.
Yeah, made it.
15.
17 total.
16.
What's the croc strength?
Like +5.
+5.
Oh, that's all?
Yep. Doesn't have proficiency in athletics or anything.
Did you all make it?
No, I got
15.
a 12.
Okay, then. Vines and roots shoot out and start grasping at everybody. You all resist, but too many, and you're sort of covered in vines. You rip them out by the roots, and as you rip them out by the roots, they release and fall off you. But before the dwarf's able to rip more than one or two, there are just too many, and you're restrained. You can't move. You've got disadvantage on attack rolls and dexterity saves. Okay. Then the next person to react is after 20 initiative. Who was next after that?
I got a 9.
9. And what was yours,
Croc.
Sir
Orcus.
Artos?
11.
Crocodile?
Yeah.
11. Okay, you're next.
All right, the crocodile readies himself. He doesn't see anything, but he is ready. I don't know. I'll ready my attack for anything that comes into the room.
Okay.
So he'll like go and get himself set up next to the opening.
Next to the opening, that you sort of swim lazily towards the opening, ready to sort of dart forward and bite anything that comes out. Okay, nice. And then onto the old grandfather, Ash Mythonwy.
Alright. I will pretty much do the same thing. I will swim up to. Actually, I'm going to swim, say, a total of 45. I want to be able to swim as far as like how far am I from the opening?
You are, say, 30 feet.
So 30 feet to the opening. That gives me 6. I can move 30 feet, swim 30 feet back out of the opening to see what I can see. I have dark
so you
vision
swim
and everything.
down the tunnel a bit. Okay, yes, you can definitely see a dragon approaching fast.
How far is he?
He is 70 feet from, well, he's now 40 feet from you.
Oh, just out of reach. I can't swim that fast. Alright. I will swim my 30 feet remaining back into the thing next to the dragon, and will back to the crocodile next to him.
Okay.
And ready in action to attack
Okay.
anything that comes within reach.
Okay. And he can't do anything. So, okay. Yep. and then it's the dwarf's Horig blunder.
Okay. Can I get myself free from the vines? By like athletics check or something like that.
Yeah, make another strength save.
Save. Jesus, that's even worse. No, I fail.
Okay, you're still entrapped in the vines, and that's all you can do. That you're sort of struggling against them, but unable to move, and then the next thing to happen is Guadira explodes amongst you. Can you triggering your readied attacks?
The ready attack is just one attack, right?
Yep.
Crocodile.
Oh, I'm gonna hit. You go first, Croc.
All right. 21. First one.
You only get one. That's kind of the problem.
Okay.
Ready attack.
So for my action is a multi-attack, so when it... Okay, whatever. Right?
But it's a reaction. It's not your action that you get to use here. So.
Okay, so...
Just go with the bite.
Yeah, I won't argue with the GM. Alright, I'll go with the bite. 7. 5, 12 plus 5, 17 plus 5, 22.
22. Okay. The drag. Yes, it bites into him.
And read the other stuff about the bite.
Your jaws snap into it.
And I'll slam my watery fists into it for 14 bludgeoning.
Okay.
And check out the bite thing.
Is that an automatic hit?
Oh, crocodiles also get something else for their bite attack. So it's so it did the damage, 22 damage, and then the target is grappled. They're automatically grappled.
Okay.
And continue.
Until this grapple ends, the target is restrained, and the crocodile can't bite another target. So it's restrained until it uses its action to escape. DC 16.
And
that would be like Dex or Strength.
And Strongsoul letting loose of his arrow for a 28 to hit.
Yep.
And it's damage, correct? For the purpose of the Colossal Slayer at this moment, or is this all going?
We'll say it's damage. Yes, I mean you can just. Yeah, I'll allow you that.
Okay.
Sorry, how much damage from the crocodile? 22.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
15 points of piercing damage.
15.
Yep.
Okay. And how many from the water elemental? Sorry, I didn't get.
14 points of damage on a 23 to hit. I just assumed I hit, so I didn't.
Yep,
I didn't
you did.
ask. 23 total.
Yep. Okay. So the dragon was swimming fast into the chamber. Your jaws closed on it, and it's and stop it. It's surprised that something has stopped it, and something big enough to clasp it in its grip and stop it approaching. But it now it will turn its breath onto you and everything, and just
fun times.
Yeah, it'll turn its breath onto the crocodile and anybody who's by the entrance. So it's the water elemental as well. I'd like you this green poison, just a snowstorm of green poison washes over you. Make your Constitution save, please.
15.
Doesn't matter.
Everyone within
Advantage.
That was with advantage. So okay,
Yeah, you have advantage, and you use the con of the croc.
Yep.
I, on the other hand, am immune to poison, so I really don't care.
Oh, you're immune. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. Okay, so just for
Okay, and everyone within 10 feet of me gets like the aura bonus, so +2 to your saves.
I don't think we're within 10 feet of you, though.
no,
maybe
they're
not.
not
Maybe
within
not.
10 feet of you.
I'm alone without friends.
But
I
as soon
don't.
as you break
So
out the
you-
restraint thing, you can come in.
Yeah,
do it.
maybe one day.
So does the okay, it would be 50 points of damage, halved with resistance to 25.
Damn.
Or if you made your save to 12.
Yeah.
Did you make your
Okay.
save, Croc?
But
I did not. I got a 15.
okay,
Still pretty hurt.
How you holding up there, Croc?
Bloodied.
Sorry.
okay. That's and it can't move, so that's all it can do. Okay, now it's on. To yes, it's the strong souls
All right.
gets to react.
Strong Soul will go ahead and cast as a bonus action Hunter's Mark.
Oh, just let me just do a couple of checks because you all injured it, and I didn't check its spell. It's concentrating on spell.
Oh, it's got a spell? Oh, that's right, it's a magic dragon. I've never used one of those yet.
But it failed, so its spell goes down.
Oh, really?
All right.
Dude.
Mhm.
Warcaster, look into it, dragon. What's a dragon's con modifier anyway? Oh my god. It's got to be outrageous.
Casting Hunter's Mark on it, and then going to release 2 arrows at it, and I'll take the -5 to hit. Use the sharpshooter.
All right, you have advantage. It's restrained.
No, is that against melee attacks, not missile?
Oh, really?
I think so.
Sounds reasonable.
No, I'm not sure actually. Just check it. Maybe it's all attacks because.
I think it's just attack rolls against you have disadvantage.
Yep. Okay, fair enough.
Have advantage. I think I'm looking it up. I could be wrong.
All right.
What do I know? Restrained creature speed bonus 0, and it can't benefit from any bonus due to its speed. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage. Just as attack rolls.
Just attack.
And the creature's attack rolls have disadvantage.
All right. And okay, that's a +5 to that instead of a 10. So that's a 21 and a 19.
They both clatter off. It's, oh no, I'm wrong. Sorry. They both of them hit.
Oh, okay.
Oh, fucking A.
And let's see here. The first one, I'll use Colossal Slayer on it. And we have 10, 9. Let's see here. 10, 9. Oh, this is my favorite enemy, too. I forgot that. I get a +4 on the hit and damage on that puppy. Let's see here. So that's 12, 13, 19.
Math is hard.
20, 23 for the first.
Holy shit. Yeah, you got that +10 to damage, though.
Yep.
Oh, I forgot that.
You're shitting me.
No. No, or did I? No, those 8 plus the 6 for the there's 14 plus Colossal Slayer 8. It's 22. And the +1 for the magic bow. 23. And I forgot the +4 for the greater favor enemy, so that'd be 27 for that. And let's see, the second one is 18, 26, 27.
Okay. Your arrows are punching into it, but strangely, it seems. It seems there's a orange steeliness about its eyes and about its flesh, which is a sort of magical sort of energy which seems to be driving it on and making it tougher than you'd expect. But and at the end of your turn, it makes one of its legendary actions and does a it does a wing. It beats its wings against everything within 10 feet. Both of you make a dexterity save.
Oh, dex saves?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm fairly dexterous. Doesn't matter. Total 7.
I fail.
Okay, both of you are hit by its wings for 13 points damage, and you're both knocked prone. But I don't know how that works for either an elemental or a crocodile. But
Immune to prone.
You're immune to prone. Okay, so you just take a buffet from its wings, and then that was its legendary action. And then at that moment, strange fogs form in front of the crocodile, and the crocodile sort of sees fogs dancing in front of him. It's like another giant female crocodile moving in a sort of mating ritual. I'd like you to make a DC 15 Wisdom save, please.
Humpty Dumpty.
Crocodiles are pretty wise. They have a 10 wisdom.
You
That's
use
pretty
your
good.
wisdom.
Oh,
You
use
your
mine.
wisdom.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
Your
isn't bad
wisdom, your
either.
intelligence, your charisma, but the creature's strength, con, and dex.
Okay, cool.
Hit points, armor class,
All right, wisdom
attacks, all that other great stuff.
+1, 14.
14. Okay. Now you are feeling your hostility towards this dragon that you've got held has gone.
All right. I'll just keep it in a warm embrace. Be like, "Come here, my love." And he's still restrained.
Yep. Okay,
Only
that
I get
makes
pumped
sense.
with my jagged mouth.
Pardon?
Nothing.
Okay. So after Strong Soul, that was Strong Soul, and so it's the crocodile's turn. Crocodile is enamored of the dragon and is not attacking it. You can
Okay,
let go or keep hold, but you're not going to do it any harm.
Okay, I will keep hold
Mhm.
for now. I can't bite her or anything.
No.
So she still needs to use an action to get out of the restrain.
Mhm.
But
And
I'll dodge. I'll dodge as an action.
okay, I don't know the mating of crocodiles, but holding on seems like a likely call. So
I concur. By the back of the neck, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So
So yeah, I do that. That is my turn, and I'll use
mount the
dodge as an
dragon.
action.
While holding onto the back
Okay.
of the neck.
Yep, I'm good.
All right.
Okay, and then at the end of your turn, with you doing nothing, it lashes out with a tail attack
Okay.
at
It has
the
this-
water elemental next to you. Not at the crocodile, but at the water elemental.
It's restrained, right? Does it have a?
Yeah.
It has disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Yeah.
Yep. So it misses.
Yes.
Crocodile MVP.
And
Way
then
better than a
it's
fighter.
onto- it's now onto the let's see. After the croc, it is grandfather.
Ah. You will not believe this watery grave. As I swing with my fists at the thing, I have advantage. Yay. So that will be a 24 to hit for the first slam attack.
Mhm.
And a 24 with the second one. Wow.
Okay, two strikes.
Where's my other D8? Okay. The first one will punch her for 12 points of bludgeoning damage, and the second one will be 11 points of bludgeoning damage. Checking real quick to see if my attacks are magical. I do not think they are. They are not. So I know
Okay.
you mentioned I had something, so yeah, my attacks aren't magical.
Okay. You damage it, and you beat this restrained thing, and it lashes out again at you with its tail at disadvantage. So it, yes, AC 21, I guess, hits.
Yeah, that'll hit.
So it will do you 9 points damage.
11 total. Thank God for that advantage. That's all
Yep.
I want to say.
Okay.
You said 9? All right.
Okay. The vines have fallen away. They're not gripping you anymore. Horig.
Okay. So maybe this time. Yeah, I'll try again.
No, the vines have fallen away. The roots and vines that were holding you and restraining you fell away. A short time ago when
Thank God.
when the dragon when the giant crocodile got friendly with the dragon.
Oh, thank God. Okay. So,
Alright.
well, I'll charge the fucking dragon then. I'm so
Okay.
fucking pissed. Fucking. Like,
Um,
you're gonna get it, dragon.
You're in.
Do
you have a swim speed? You're not going to
I
get
assume I would.
there.
Oh, I
You can
wouldn't.
breathe underwater.
Yeah.
But
You can breathe underwater, but no swim speed, so you're in difficult terrain. You're not going to be able to get to it this round.
No. Okay.
You will
Well.
righteously smite this thing eventually, dude. Trust me.
Yeah. One day, one day, I'm gonna nuke the shit out of this fucking dragon. Okay. I'll get us close to it as I can. So, what would be the distance then? Like.
Hold it, you're a paladin. You got Misty Step or anything?
15.
Oh shit! I do.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
I have Misty Step.
It's difficult terrain, but you can get to it.
Hey, Misty Step is a bonus action?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
30
in
feet.
that case, this fucking solves it. I'm gonna Misty Step towards the fucker. That's so 30 feet. I can Misty Step. The rest up. Right.
You're there.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, here comes the hammer. I'm gonna attack twice. So the first one is 23, and the other attack would be 22.
Okay. Both strike.
Awesome. Okay, so there's gonna be a lot of dice, and I'm gonna use second level
Second level. Okay. Divine Smite.
second level divine smite on both of them. So additional 3d8. Oh shit, that's a lot of dice. 9 plus 70. So the first one would be 23.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Okay.
That's so bad. And the other one. Second one would be 31.
Okay.
Holy.
Wow.
Damn.
Well, not as good as it could have been. I rolled a lot of ones.
Okay. I presume that's everything, as it
Yes.
roars in pain as your hammer finally lands.
Yes.
And at the end of its turn, it will lash out with its. At the end of your turn, it lashes out with its tail for its last legendary action. Hitting. No, it will. No, it was aiming at you, so it hits you. It does hit you at an AC of 30 for.
Dude, with disadvantage, AC 30.
Damn.
That's not bad.
I just imagine
Oh, actually,
the
no.
dwarf like.
It was AC 28. Sorry.
Still.
And
Oh, that's not
Not
great.
much difference.
and it does you 10 points damage.
Ooh.
I imagine the dwarf like doggy paddling until he gets fed up and misses death.
Ah, fuck this.
Take this fucking hammer.
He's hopping up and down like a bobber on the pond.
Fuck this.
And then
Swimming bee for elves.
it's
Dragon's turn.
its turn,
Oh, here we
and
go.
it turns to the crocodile and mutters words, speaks words of power, commanding sort of ancient words of power which are different from, similar to the ones that Ash spoke earlier. And you feel, crocodile, you feel your limbs sort of straining to take a different form. Make a saving throw versus make a wisdom save, please.
And you have +2 from the
Oh,
aura.
shit. All right.
Because we're finally close.
Yeah.
Yes,
Wisdom?
you demand.
You do.
17.
Okay. Again, you feel straining. You feel your sort of body straining to change into a different shape, but somehow you throw off that. Let me just check. DC. What was your save?
17.
Sorry, it's 18 that you need.
No.
Wait, did you add the +2? Did you add the +2?
No. Actually.
Okay. No, you resist it then.
Awesome.
Yes.
Okay, and then
It was a roller coaster.
Oh shit! I was like, what's he going to try to turn you into?
Another dragon.
A guppy.
A guppy.
and then moving on to that's the end of its turn. Moving on to, it's got its legendary actions back, and let me see if it gets its breath weapon back. Okay, and now it's over to the Goliath.
All right. Strong.
In front of you, the giant croc still has the dragon in an amorous hold.
All right. Strong Soul will take 2 shots at it. He'll take the -5 on the hits from sharpshooter.
Okay.
All right. That will be 23 for the first.
Okay.
And a 20 for the second.
Both hit. It screams in pain. Once you've worked out the total, tell me the total for both. It screams
For
in
both?
pain.
Okay.
Yep. Just add it all together and tell me the damage. But as those hit it aims with its. I'll make a Arcana check to see if it works out what's going on. No, it doesn't. So 1 to 2, 3 to 4 to 5 to 6. It'll go for It's going for. It lashes out with its tail at the crocodile for hitting an armor class of 23 for.
Does it still have disadvantage on
Yep.
its attacks?
23 at disadvantage.
Oh,
40.
shit.
47 points.
Holy mother!
Awesome.
And it strikes you for 10 points damage. Crocodile. Sorry, did I say that was a legendary action? I meant a lair action. Oh no, that was the end of your turn, so that's right.
Yeah, legendary. Now it's his lair.
Yeah, that was the end of his turn. I got confused on. Now it's the legendary action. Now it's the lair action, and
I feel like there's a lot going on with the dragon. I had this same problem one time when I was
suddenly, straight in front of, rising up in front of strong soul is just these vines and roots shoot out in front of strong soul, forming forming a barrier that you can't see over and you can't see through. You're separated from your companions.
Wow, damn, he has 100% cover from me.
Yep, he has.
All right.
Now it's
Croc?
Yep, it's Croc.
All right, it's crocodile time. Am I still charmed?
Friendliness has passed.
Yeah.
No more Mr. Nice, Croc. And he's gonna bite and tail it. Alright, bite. Oh, 18.
18, did you say?
Yeah.
You've got a good grip on it, but it's just you're not able to sort of really close in on him and not do any damage with the bite.
Okay. 20 for the tail attack.
Okay.
You can't tail swipe the same thing. You got bit.
Oh,
Even though
can't?
it's
Okay.
technically, but at the same time, it's huge. So I don't know. If you're huge, it's huge. I don't know. But technically, in the
Bite.
thing I was reading, you can't tail swipe a creature.
Each grapple ends, the target is restrained, and the crocodile can't bite another target. It doesn't.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
he still could be able to.
Yeah,
I think
it
that
just says it
you-
can't bite something else while they're restrained, basically.
I mean, the tail swipe it says you can't attack the same creature that you. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I misread it. It happens.
I don't know. I have this thing up.
Go on.
Yeah, you're looking at it, right?
So, all right.
It makes
Anyway.
sense. You can, because it's huge.
Yeah, I mean they're both pretty big. Like,
This attacker creature must succeed on a DC 6. Yeah, I'm wrong.
16 damage.
Okay. You bash into it.
It's not magic or anything. So it's like still like restraining it and just like crushing down with its jaws and just like.
There's this
Like
sort of
two
white
titans,
water
like, rolling and
flashing
frothing.
around. Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. One creature not grappled by the crocodile.
And the
Oh.
oh well.
Whatever. I won't do it next time. Then. I didn't.
I suck. I'm
It doesn't
sorry.
say that here.
Okay. At the end of that, it uses its legendary action to swipe out at. This time at the dwarf. And at disadvantage, it'll hit you AC 26 for 8 points damage.
Yeah.
It buffets you with its tail, and now it's on to Ash's turn.
You can't hold on much longer. As I punch him with my watery fists, I'm not even going to try to whelm this thing simply because I don't know if he's huge. Just doesn't make sense. And punch 1 will be a total of 21 to hit.
Yep.
Thank God for advantage. Punch 2 would be a total of 20.
Okay.
20? 20? No, 25. That's an 18 out of 13.
Tell me the damage.
All right. That would be 18 for the first one. 2 away from max. And the second one is, wow, 10. So a total of 28 bludgeoning from water elemental.
Okay. Blood is boiling out of it. I mean, the whole water has turned red and is frothing up. You're fighting in pink froth, and it lashes out at you with its tail. But with a what? Oh no! Ooh, it almost got a crit on that, but no. So it just hits you.
Oh, it hits me.
Yep. For hey, how did? Oh, I was rolling the wrong dice.
Oh shit.
It does you 14.
Croc boy. You're not a croc anymore.
All fun must end.
+4 concentration. +4 con modifier due to the water elemental advantage. I roll a 4 and a 3.
Okay.
Pop! And it like comes back and you just see him like gnawing on this dragon's
Yeah,
neck.
that's a brilliant picture.
Sorry.
Turns back.
So that was Ash, and now the
Oh,
dwarf.
yeah, all right, you told me how much damage. Never mind. Okay.
Righty. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep bashing it. I'll make your carcass into a canoe, you filthy lizard. And 2 attacks, 19 and a 13.
Both the 19 hits.
Okay.
We no longer have advantage on dragon. That sucks.
Yeah, and it doesn't have disadvantage on us.
Oh.
It wasn't really missing that much anyway. The thing's probably got like +13 to hit or some shit like that.
Yeah. And I will use 1 spell slot to get 1 divine smite in.
You call on your god, and your weapon shines brilliant.
What are you saving them for?
Shit, so 14, 22, 26 plus 6, so 32 damage.
Oof, 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 oof. It lets out you feel a rib crunch under its belly as you land your blow.
Oh, and can I do one more thing as well, please?
Go ahead.
I'll use my bonus action to make the strike also ensnaring. So this will the dragon has to make a strength saving throw or be restrained by magical vines.
That's not a bonus action. You're casting ensnaring strike as a spell.
Yeah, it's like yeah.
Okay, yep, I got you. So does he add D6 to you had D6 damage, I think, and dragon save. He just rips through the vines.
Damn it!
Without any problem. I mean, unless you've got a DC of 21, that he's got to.
No, not by far.
Okay. So that's the end of its turn. And it's next, and it breathes on you all. No.
Oh,
It's gotta do something much worse.
That fucking
It disengages and zooms down the.
not
down
so
the top.
fast. I have sentinel.
Oh damn!
Oh,
Yes,
you the man! Oh my god!
You gotta strike it.
Where you go, boy?
fuck him up.
Go on.
All right. What's my plus? I haven't attacked as a person yet.
Oh,
All right. I have a +1 magic, like great spear kind of thing going on.
So
It's
you
plus
got also
10.
plus 4.
So I got 19.
You get it just. Your spear sticks through its tail as it whips round and goes back down the tunnel. But your spear whips through its tail and holds against some rocks, and you hear it groan as the weight of the dragon gets caught, and he's pulling against your spear. And even though it's magical, it bends, but then holds true. And the dragon, you've stopped the dragon. And
Yeah.
you're pulled, but you're pulled along with it, but you're also wedged against a stone. Sort of basically the spear holds against 2 stones, and the dragon doesn't manage to get away.
Yeah, I
Awesome.
imagine he kind of like wedges it into the rock and like pushes up as it's trying to go away, and it's like pushing against it to try to get away, and it's just going deeper as he stabs into it. And it can't go anywhere.
And tell me the damage.
Right. I almost forgot.
Yeah, that wasn't as important as stopping it.
Yeah, not that important. 8.
8.
8 damage.
Okay.
Wow, 8?
Mighty damage. Not really. Like, I rolled 2 1s. So.
Okay. So it lets out a snarl of frustration as it feels itself trapped, and turns to look at you. You'll regret that, fool. It says, and now it's after its turn. It's the Goliath behind a wall of thorns.
Okay. How far away were those oil jars?
The nearest is within reach. 10 feet,
Okay.
let's say.
10 feet. All right. Let's see here. And from there, would I have a view of this dragon?
No.
No?
No.
All right. Then.
Oh, do you mean standing on top of them?
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Okay. So as a bonus action, Strong Soul is going to Misty Step on top of the jars.
Yep.
And then as an attack action, he's going to shoot 2 more arrows at the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. First one misses. And the second one, 20 will hit, right?
Yep.
Okay. And he'll take Colossal Slayer and Hunter's Mark. Let's see here. 18, 20, 23, 27. 32 points of damage.
Okay. It's lets out a scream of pain, and it's looking injured now. Its wings have got holes punched through them, and there's blood streaming from multiple wounds all over its body. And this supernatural energy that is driving it on is still helping, but you reckon it's given it extra strength, but it's weakening.
Free action. Mm-hmm. Strong Soul and Draconic will say, "Die, you evil slug!"
Then it gets onto its lair action, and it suddenly 10 feet high, 5 foot thick wall of bushy thorns appear around it. Anyone who is in combat with it needs to make a DC 15 Dex check, or get caught in these, get caught in thorns.
Yeah,
You said 15?
remember the +2.
Oh, thank you for that.
I fail.
I went from a fail to a make because of that +2.
I got 6.
Okay.
I got a 19.
Okay. If you make it, you jump out of the way of the thorns as they come up. But if you fail, you take 14, 21, 22 points damage from the thorns. And everybody choose, would you like to jump on the side of the dragon or jump on the other side?
Oh, I'm on the dragon side. As a matter of fact, I'll be in the dragon's space.
Okay.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yep.
I can
Dragon
do that.
side.
I thought so. Okay. So there's now this wall around the dragon, but the dragon's so big that you can see it through over the wall.
Did I take damage if I made the save?
Let me just check on this legendary action. I can't remember whether my notes aren't clear on that one.
I think it's half. I don't know. I used the green dragon at one point in time too.
Okay.
I constantly use that wall thing too, constantly.
It doesn't say about half damage.
Okay.
It's half damage if you're pushing through it, if you're cutting your way through it. But I think when it disappears, you can avoid all damage.
Okay.
Okay, move on to the next. So that was the legendary action. That was the lair action. So now it's on to Sir Artos.
All right. Artos is going to use a bonus action to feint, so he has advantage on his first attack.
Fuck him up.
Look 'em up.
25.
Yep, that's a hit.
So he gets the extra d10 on that. That first one does 19.
Okay.
Next one's going to be a regular attack. That's a 22.
Yep, that hits.
Takes 11 on that one. Then he's going to action surge.
Oof. Okay.
Could you have action surge as a crocodile? Just curious.
Maybe, I don't know. It might have been able to. I'm not sure. Done sweet. So I'm going to use a distracting strike.
Okay.
If it hits. 27.
Yep.
Okay. 9, 6, that's 15. 21 damage on that one.
21.
And the next attack from one of my allies has advantage.
Yep.
I'm going to use Command Ally for
What's Command Ally?
Command Ally is like I can give up an attack and give it to one of my buddies.
Oh.
And they get
It's
extra damage if they hit.
That's
and I
actually
call
your
out the Horg.
That's your attack and your is it a Battlemaster ability?
Yeah, it's a Battlemaster ability.
It's your attack and your bonus action. That one.
I just give up
Your
an
action.
attack and I use
Oh, okay. Go on. I don't know this. I don't know this ability.
The feint's a bonus action. I know that.
Feint is definitely a bonus action. Distracting
Is
strike
this a combat maneuver?
Yes, it's a combat maneuver. I'm using like 3 all
No,
out.
the commander's. Is it commander's strike that you're using?
Yes.
No,
You may have an ally make an attack
that takes your entire action and bonus action. That's an expensive one. Yep.
Oh.
I know it uses their reaction.
Yeah. Okay.
I always thought it was alright. I don't know.
Well, you spend a bonus action and one of your actions. Yeah.
I have it right here. Okay, Commander Strike. When you take the attack action on your turn, you can forego one of your attacks and use a bonus action. Oh, damn it! I already used my
You
bonus
already
action.
used it.
Never mind then.
Hmm.
I'll use the
Wonder.
last one as a regular attack. The next guy who
Yep.
attacks still has advantage, but
Yep.
the last one's just going to be a regular attack then. So I just used 2 superiority die. This is my last one, 24. And that's just a regular one. So
Okay.
11 damage on that last one.
So
And the next guy who hits them
flurry
has advantage.
A flurry of attacks lays into the dragon, and blood again is spraying out, and it lets out a roar of pain. And it's done a legendary action. No, since its turn, this is the first attack on it. Oh no, no, it's the second. So but still, it's got 2 legendary actions. So it with its wings, it beats out at all of you. Make a dexterity save. All the ones who are in combat with it, I mean.
Yeah, I fail.
Plus
I got
2.
an 8.
13.
Okay, you all are knocked prone, and you're all knocked prone and take 14 points of bludgeoning damage as it takes to the air. It moves 20 feet into the air. It's not disengaging, so you can.
I'm
Oh,
going to swipe at it.
me too.
Yeah,
Got that sentinel.
and yeah, you can. If you hit
20.
it, he's not going anywhere.
21.
Was that a disadvantage?
Is it disadvantage?
Because
you're prone, yeah.
because you're prone.
Because you're prone.
Oh, fucker. Yeah, I'll roll a disadvantage.
Oh shit! Still the
Yeah,
same number.
13. Yeah, it misses.
Okay.
I missed, but I'm not prone. I can't be knocked prone. Water element.
You can't be knocked prone. Okay. Did you hit?
I did not.
Okay.
But I did, I think. 21.
What did you? What armor class did you
21.
hit? Yep,
21.
that's a hit.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Smite the out of it.
Yeah, I will.
You have advantage.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, yeah.
You
Okay.
already did.
So I'm gonna use one of the smite. Okay. Oh. Uh. $28 damage.
Oof. Right. It's looking very weak now. Its wing is pretty much broken, and but it has climbed to 20 feet up in the air, and that's the end of it. It's legendary action there. So now it's your turn. It's 20 feet above you.
Mine?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I am gonna use. Wait. Could
It's
I?
Ash's turn.
Sorry.
Really?
Sorry.
I
Yes,
think
I've
so,
jumped
yeah, it
dash.
should be.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Ah! 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 Fuck! What do I do? What do I do? Oh.
Spit at it.
Fuck! I'm sorry. Ah! Ah!
Are you getting attacked by a dog or something over there?
Apparently. I can't fly 20 feet in the air. I can't. Oh, I'm large, right? I'm large. So, never mind. I just flipped it because I was going to look to see if I could polymorph myself into something cool. And you know what? I very well might just end this and polymorph myself into something fucking cool. But that would be my action.
Pseudo dragon.
I'm
Giant
large.
gorilla.
So if I were,
Yeah, do it.
yeah, I only got 5 feet reach, but I'm large, so if I were to like stand all the way like I'm walking on the surface of the water and tippy toe, maybe jump, could I still hit it then?
But I'll give you an attack at disadvantage if you want to try and do a jumping attack,
Oh, fuck that.
because you're
I'm
out
gonna
of
hit it direct.
you're out of your element.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Okay, I'm going to end the water elemental. End.
Okay.
Yes. Switch back into a human, and then speak words of power,
Okay.
bringing out now. Now I must go and to get this beast. I will have to end my humanity and unleash the true beast. King Kong. But that's my action, so yeah, giant freaking King Kong. And I can't attack it. Jackass. Ooh, I could have giant eagles. Giant eagles. Hey.
Okay, that's the end of that's. So you turn into what do you turn into?
King Kong.
King Kong, giant ape, excellent. Oh, so you're back in combat range, and it doesn't have any legendary actions left, so it's on to now it's on to the dwarf.
Okay. I've been waiting for this my whole life. Okay. So I will.
Misty step on it.
Yeah, that's the yeah basically. Can I Misty Step on top of it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, this is exactly what I'm gonna fucking do. And I'm gonna like Misty Step a little bit like above it, like 5 feet maybe, so I like have a drop, you know.
Time it so you as you're coming down with your
Yeah.
momentum.
So it's cooler basically.
Yeah.
29 to hit, and second
perfect.
one is a
This is
19.
going to finish it.
Okay,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm just gonna use 2 third-level smites just so it's a fucking nuke, like literal nuke.
Describe you finally finishing off this dragon as it thinks it's going to escape.
Okay, so I seeing as it's starting to leave, I touch my holy symbol, point my hammer upwards, and just blink or like Misty Step above it, holding my hammer in my 2 hands, dropping down upon it, and with my hammer and the divine smite, the power of gods, I will crush its spine. Basically, just crush through it. Right.
And yes, and it just spasms and breaks, sort of spasms and collapses, thrashing as you fall down to the ground, taking height. You take
I would
8
try
points
to
of damage.
I would try to ride it down on the ground, kind of like.
Yep.
Yeah. And when I would do, I would be like, so this, gentlemen, is how you kill a dragon.
And roaring in pain, it thrashes and eventually stops and dies.
Smash!
Yes.
And you have killed Guadira. You have killed Guadira.
She ain't no
I guess
truth.
after a while of searching around, no, she's not. After a while of searching around, you find another secretly hidden chamber behind illusions and things like that. And down there, you find her in a. Oh, actually.
What about the elf bard?
Yep, the elves. the elf prisoners, elf slaves. They're at the loss of their patron, who they've come to love, and
Really?
everybody make an investigation roll as you find the way down to its treasure.
16.
11.
I'm not in my crocodile form. I can't investigate.
Sorry. Yeah, I'll stop. I suppose I'll stop concentrating on the.
Got an 18.
But I would. I don't know. I got it too.
Okay, you find its treasure chamber, and there you find money enough to make you rich, rich and happy until the day you die.
Robin's brother.
Strong Soul will want to take and skin this dragon and take the hide.
Okay. As you make your way out again through the rushing water, you realize that there is a stone there that he used to open and close the water flow. So when gradually the water level rose, and then when after you'd entered, that's why the current had decreased. He'd not completely blocked, but reduced the flow out, and the water level raised. And then when he created the whirlpool later on, he was trying to suck you down and split the party and kill you bit by bit, but you managed to stick together.
Awesome.
Oof.
Anyway,
That could have been bad.
a final comment. What does the dwarf Horik do with his money?
Yeah, this would be his like final mission or something, because he's like really old, so he would retire, and I think he would like buy like a mansion or something, or like live his days out in like a secluded area, just drinking himself to death.
Excellent. And Seratos?
Let's see. Saratos would leave his lady's service and start construction on his own castle.
Excellent. Become an independent
Become a
lord
landed knight.
on the money. Yep. And yes, you could use the money to build a castle, without a doubt. There's enough there. Ash.
Ash would simply use whatever money he got from his share to help relieve the suffering of those from the dragon. He'd donate it and willy-nilly just give it away to any, like the communities that suffered under the wrath of the dragon, even though they were complicit in a manner. I understand why they did it. Fear.
It takes them a generation or so to return to a more normal lifestyle. They've been dominated by the dragon for generations, and it's not even. They still continue with the practice of taking up cows, and the cow, the gold, and the cow, the gold, the spice, and the silver urn, and depositing them in the lake for a generation after the death of the dragon. And finally, the Strong Soul.
Strong Soul will carry the dragon hide with him, and he's going to go into the towns and villages. He'll drink heartily, and he'll tell the tale of the great company of the dragon slayer and freedom fighters. And he'll take the money that he got from this to subsidize this effort, and he's going to continue on looking for more dragons. And on top of that, he'll hire 20 of the best bards to go out and sing the tales of the group of the mighty Green Dragon Slayer and freedom fighters of Sunnydale.
Awesome. And I think Kaya's dropped.
Yeah, it looked like he did.
It's just me, or whenever he says Sunnydale, you think, hey, vampires, hell now.
Actually, I think of a dairy farm.
Okay, sorry about that. I just dropped.